How's that?
Yeah, that's fine. Check, sound check.
Sound check, sound check. Check, check, check. Testes, testes, 1, 2, 3. Hey, can I even see if... Oh, I can hear myself on your thing.
No, I'm sorry.
So my sound must work then.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, party people. All right, shut up for a minute or do whatever you want.
I'm trying.
A minor monologue, talking about something. What was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. So there's this conversation I keep having over and over. Like, for decades, I've had this conversation. Not every day or anything, but, you know, oh, good, tomaters can hear me. Excellent. So every once in a while, I have this recurring conversation. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit right now. So the conversation goes kind of like this. I meet someone who... Wait, how do you get the chat to not show up on mine and just show up on yours?
Yeah.
Because I keep reading it,
I know,
and it's like there's a squirrel jumping out there, and I'm like...
It should just give it a second, it'll just...
All right. Okay, so I'll meet someone, and like me, they agree that society is just like so controlling, and humans are treated like cattle, and if you get out of line, you just get whipped back into line. There's all this propaganda all over all the time telling us what to do, what not to do, what to think, how to poo, you know, all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. And I think this conversation happens a lot because, you know, I talk about this stuff in YouTube videos and people watch them and then they start up this conversation with me. And then they say, oh yeah, and I really want to move out to an island like you. And when I used to live on a mountain, it would be like, I want to move out to a mountain like you. And I'd be like, oh, cool. And then they'll describe all the stuff they want to do. Yeah, I want to grow food. I want to build stuff and do all they'll paint this amazing picture of all the stuff they want to do. And then they'll say, but I could never do it like you because your house, you know, has this thing I don't like. And, you know, I don't like this other thing that you do. And they start saying all this stuff that I'm doing that they don't like. And then I'm just like, well, what does the way I'm doing it have to do with the way you're doing it? Oh, is there a boat here?
Yeah, Roger, I'll hand it.
No, there's a boat here. We got to send someone away. Anyway, so I'm like, look, I built my house because it's the house I wanted. When you build your house, you would build the house that you want. I mean, whether or not you like my house doesn't matter. My dream is not your dream. You do your own thing, right? Obviously. And then they say, oh, well, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, but like, but, you know, I couldn't do it in a place like you're doing it, you know. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Okay, so why couldn't you do it in a place like I'm doing it? It's always the same 2 or 3 things. Well, I need a nice sandy beach, and I need a nice reef with lots of colorful fish, and it's always those 2 things. And then sometimes I need no bugs, and they start painting this picture, which is like the most beautiful thing ever. And then I'm like, well, you don't have to say any of that. Everybody wants the most beautiful thing ever. There's no reason to say, I want the most beautiful thing ever. Like everybody wants the most beautiful thing ever. That's why not everyone can have it. And then I try to explain that, you know, if you're waiting for the most beautiful thing ever, you're going to be waiting right up to the grave. You're going to die before it ever happens. Because no one's going to come up to you and say, oh, the Great Barrier Reef is for sale. And how much money do you have? Yeah, that's what it costs. And there's also a nice sandy island there for you. And it's all perfect. Oh, and there's no bugs there. And like, you really don't have to make very many parameters like this before you're talking about a place that doesn't even exist. Like a sandy beach, a nice reef, and no bugs. I don't know if that place even exists on planet Earth. But say there was a place like that. And people will say, oh no, there's places like that. I've been to a fancy resort that was like that. And it's like, well, no, they're spraying for bugs. And there are a lot of resorts around here, not right around here, but, you know, 10 miles away. And I've spoken with people and they just spray tons of poison. Like don't jump on there, dude. Every week, just killing the bugs. And there's just, everything is coated with this layer of poison. That's why there's no bugs. Like trying to find the perfect thing is a futile effort. And that refers, or that's relevant to trying to do anything. Like if you're trying to find the perfect car or buy the perfect house or find the perfect time to go for a walk or mow the lawn or do anything. There is no perfect, the perfect time to talk to that girl. Oh, it's not the right time right now. No, there's never a perfect time to do anything, and there's no perfect anything that's going to come and be like the perfect thing for you. So if you wait for the perfect thing, you're just going to be waiting forever. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to talk a little bit about, specifically going off grid. So if you're someone who wants to maybe live a little bit secluded, where you can have more independence and a bit more freedom, then you really don't want like the most beautiful place, because you know what the most beautiful place has? It has like hotels and people and tourists. Like if this place where I am right now was surrounded by a beautiful beach and there was like a perfect reef there and there was just somehow naturally no bugs and it was just this amazing paradise, there would be hotels all around here. And even if those weren't up yet, tourists would be coming in here all the time and bringing their garbage and their plastic bags and their bottles, and it would just be, the place would be trashed. So anyway, if you want to move somewhere where you can have a little more freedom and be a little bit secluded, like have your privacy, look for the place that no one else is looking at. Find the place that maybe doesn't look so amazing from the outside, but when you look at it, you think, well, you know what I could do with that? I could turn that into something I could really be happy with. And that's how you get things done in life. Don't look for the perfect thing. Look for what you can make work. Look for something that has the potential that you need to be able to get the thing you want. So that's all I have to say about that right now. What are you guys talking about? Let me just see what's going on here. Oh, you murdered the like button accidentally. Excellent. Okay, now that you guys have arrived, we can begin. There's another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, get some AC. Get some more solar panels for the home and get some AC. I'm never going to put AC up in my house, partly because my house doesn't get that hot. And partly maybe I shouldn't say never. There might be a circumstance under which I would get air conditioning, but it's a really low priority. I feel like there are a lot of other things I'd rather do. And I gotta look out the window because Dashaina got distracted. Oh, Jeff, don't worry. We won't start without you. You missed my terror. You just said that. All right, I'm gonna go on another monologue about treat yourself. Treat yourself is what the advertisers say when they're trying to get you to waste money and resources and time and energy on things you don't need, that you don't even want, that you don't even care about. But they're like, oh, this doesn't matter to you at all, but treat yourself because it will make you feel good in a very short amount of time. Cult stuff after. Hey, why are you retracting your messages? No retracting messages. Hello, Portland, Oregon. And hey, Mike. I know that's Mike there. Hold on a second. Dashaina went out to check. There was a boat that pulled up. I'm going to see what's going on. Hey, Dashaina, what's going on? I heard her just say, oh, hold on, I got to go, to whoever was there. So maybe we'll find out who that is. Someone's been watching since the giant robot days. Oh, there was another... You should treat yourself to pudding for your birthday. That sounds great. But I just wouldn't think about treating yourself too much. I'm not answering the Starlink question. I answer that every week. Okay, here's a question for you guys, not a question for me. So you can see I just shaved my head and my face, right? I have a really crappy shaving thing. What do you guys use to shave? And does anyone have like an excellent thing to shave with? Oh, Derek, don't be sorry. All right, he asked about the Starlink question. I wasn't sure if you were just messing with me. Yeah, I don't have Starlink because it costs a lot more than what we have right now. And what we have is I don't have Starlink because it costs a lot more than what we have right now. And what we have is working. Yeah, I got the Starlink question already. So
feel like we should just open with that from now on.
No. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not trying to be rude, not answering the Starlink question. It's just every week it comes up, and I figured everyone heard it by now. But yeah, it's just more expensive than what we have, and what we have works. No, don't do that.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, so what do you guys use to shave? Yes, it is spectacularly aerodynamic hairdo. You're right, man. I could swim like a dolphin right now.
4 hours
Like,
yesterday.
I mean, I'm still hairy all under here, but my head is just like zoom. But yeah, it takes me forever to like all this.
Me forever.
Dashaina, you're interrupting me again. All right, who's keeping the interrupted score? That's 6-0 for you. Just kidding. Okay. So what do you guys use to shave your face and your head that works well and doesn't take forever? I have in the past had things that work better than what I have now, but I don't remember what they were. And I don't even necessarily need like the close shave, like just some buzzer, like, sheep shear device would be great.
Get you the vacuum dog groomer.
Okay, I don't want to do Gillette One blades because that's disposable things. I don't want disposable things, partly because I don't want to have to keep getting them, and second, like I don't want the garbage.
Well, we already have a dual safety.
Manscaped ball trimmer. What's a Manscaped ball trimmer?
I want my own cup.
Like, are we talking about balls?
Okay?
Yes.
I can have candy.
I don't have any candy. Go downstairs, please.
Cookies?
You know what?
Cool. Okay, can you guys like stop? Yeah. Okay, this guy has a pair use some old clippers I've had for like 20 plus years. Where can I get
They
those?
probably don't exist anymore.
I know, I probably can't find them, but like, man, I would love to get some old, because they used to make things that work. Now everything they make is just garbage and it's terrible. I'm thinking about just getting a straight razor and just sharpening the crap out of it. Well, it wouldn't make that sound. It would be more like Oyster electric clipper with the smallest spacer. So does your Oyster electric clipper work well though? And I have my hair is real strong too. He said oyster. Maybe it's Oster. Hey, Dashaina, do you want to come over here?
I'm sure.
Here, keep track of what's going on here.
Oh, I will.
He says it's a good all-round trimmer.
I got it. No, put it back down.
Old Norelco's?
Yeah. Okay, it's alright. I'm cutting it off. Okay, can you scoot over a little bit more? I don't have enough space.
Oh man. See, this guy got an old one from his uncle that hadn't been charged in 10 years, and it just worked right away. So much better than the stuff today. That's actually one of the problems with lithium batteries. Like, lithium batteries are amazing when they're working, but if you don't keep charging them, they just die real quick, and then once they die past a certain point, you can't charge them again. But like the old NiCads, the nickel cadmium batteries, those you could leave them sitting around for years and they still work. I actually have a flashlight that has nickel cadmium batteries in it, and I got it from a guy on Craigslist, and I bought basically his whole workshop. Like, he was a guy who was old and retiring, and he was selling a bunch of tools, and I just asked him, how much would it cost to just buy all the stuff? And he was like, well, how about $500? So I just bought like everything in his workshop. And one of the things was this flashlight that I didn't necessarily want, but it came in the thing, and that was maybe 6 years ago, and I haven't charged it, and I don't know how long it's been since he charged it. And just the other day I turned it on and the light turned on, and I'm like, why does this even work? Like, this seems like such a weird thing, having dealt with today's modern technology, where, I mean, if you don't pay attention to something for a month, it's dead. I have 2 laptops with dead batteries in them because while I was building my house, I didn't keep up with the charging. I didn't keep up with the maintenance. So I had to order new batteries for them, which is kind of a pain in the butt.
So I have to nurse her, and I have to turn the fan on to do that.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, we got a baby situation here where a baby needs some. Well, I understand. When you want some boobies, you want some boobies, man. Totally understandable. All right, beer. Let's see if anyone else has got some.
Oh, did you hear Tomater got his coffee cup?
Oh, Tomater, you got your coffee cup?
He's sitting there drinking with it right now.
Nice. Jaimie is the only person in the world that wants to be bald. Dude, when it's like hot out and I'm out in the sun, right now it's really hot. You can see I'm glistening from sweat. But yeah, it's nice to just be like cooled off. When I lived in the cold, I wanted like to I wanted to look like a tennis ball. But yeah, out here in the tropics, when it gets hot and sunny, I just want to be like cooled off. Although the other thing that does keep me cool is when I do have hair, if I just stick it straight out, it's like the air can flow in better. All right, this guy's used the same clippers for 5 years. Now let's see. The corded Moser trimmers. Really powerful and no battery that wears out. Okay, this guy wants to know if I own a gun for just in case protection. I do have a BB gun that's a rifle that's pretty strong that, wouldn't be the greatest thing. But, in a pinch, if I needed to shoot someone with it, it would do some damage. And I do also have a nail gun with the explosive charges that if I needed to, I may have or could possibly modify it to fire nails at really high speeds. Okay, why don't I use sails on my boats? That's a good question. We'll get back to some more shaving items. eBay has vintage clippers. What are the best vintage clippers?
And email us with any links to the items that they're talking about. That would be super.
Oh yeah, if you have something in mind that you think is really good, like a really good shaver thing, just email a link
The Adventure Builder Movie at Gmail.
to the adventurebuildermovie@gmail.com. It should be in the description. Yeah?
Well, maybe not today's, but yes, it's in most.
It's in the description of like the videos. I don't know if it's in this one yet because Dashaina's been, managing my channel and stuff, which I gotta say, super thanks for doing that, by the way. So she's been taking a lot of stuff off my plate lately, like administratively, which is super helpful. Okay, so the one question is, why don't I use sails more often? Well, the first boat I made when I moved here, I put sails on it, and I very quickly learned that sails are not the best thing around here. Partly because there are so many little islands you have to navigate around, and sometimes you have to tack through a really skinny channel that you can't tack through. So I would have to, wrap up the sail and just paddle like mad to try to get up some channel. And I started asking people about it, and the general consensus around here is that, yeah, sails are not good around here because the wind changes so much, it's so unreliable, and then trying to get weave between all the islands, it's just really difficult to sail. And so that's why I've been going with the solar panels. The solar panels and the electric motors have been really good, and the pedals have been really good too. Of course, I like getting the exercise. Okay, have I ever thought of introducing some animals to my islands? Well, Dashaina has chickens and rabbits and... Well, you also brought some frogs over because they...
Yeah, they're cool.
Our neighbors said they eat ants. And she was like, ooh.
Eat termites.
They eat termites?
Yeah, I watched.
So she has these, I want some of those frogs. So she has these frogs that eat termites and ants.
Green dart frogs.
They're green dart frogs. Like the ants that, back in the day, people used to take their little poison arrows and rub it on the frog and then shoot monkeys or whatever they're shooting. Yeah, poison dart frogs. Don't lick them or anything, but they eat ants and termites and stuff. But yeah, the animals that you have on purpose that you really want is the chickens. And my son just brought an egg in.
Yeah.
He just walked in the house and was like, I have an egg. And I was like, oh, did you get that from the chickens? Yeah, he just went on in there and, stuck his hand up a chicken and, well, maybe that's not exactly how it happened. I think he found it in the nest. But yeah, we get eggs from the chickens and then a few little bunny rabbits that aren't doing anything, but they're basically
they
pets.
keep the yard clean.
Oh yeah, they mow the lawn because they nibble on the grass.
Coordinated.
That's why your lawn always looks so nice. Yeah, so on my island, whenever I walk around on my island, I take a machete and just swing it kind of in front of me, just kind of haphazardly hacking any grass. And as long as I, kind of do that whenever I'm walking around, you know, it keeps the grass down. But Dashaina's grass is really nice because she has rabbits
Yeah,
cutting
they
it.
on it and they keep it trimmed.
I've been watching you for 6 years, since the giant robot spider days. Man, I remember those. I can't wait to build another giant robot. That is going to be so fun. But I don't want to start doing it till, you know, I get enough things worked out that I can just totally focus on it. Because the last one, you know, the last giant robot I made, it just went on for like, I don't know, like a decade or something. I don't think it was that long. Maybe it was. No, I think it was like a decade. Anyway, it was just kind of going on in the background. But the next time I build a giant robot, I want to have everything kind of worked out where I can focus on it and just do a really, really kicking butt job and yeah, just focus on it. Anyway, I figure I owe you for the years of excellent entertainment. Oh, thanks, man. Is the solar dozer still alive? Yeah, it's over there. I talked about this last week or the week before. So the solar dozer is totally good. Everything works on it as far as I can tell anyway. But I can't get it out of here to my island because it's kind of hemmed in by gardens. And I don't want to just run over the gardens and kill a bunch of food plants. So I figure at some point I'm going to get motivated one day and I'll go over there with some wrenches and just take it apart down to pieces I can lift. Hopefully I don't have to take it apart too much. A lot of the weight is just the batteries. Like if I disconnect the lead acid batteries out of the back, I might be able to move it.
Well, I'm about to do some redesign on the yard.
And anyway, if I might have to, you know, take a few other parts apart, but I'll just take it apart enough to move it to my boat and then take it to my island and then put it together. And then I'll be very excited to drive it around. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Let's see. Can you tour the fruit trees on the dock soon? Okay, fruit trees, that brings up something. I just made a video actually that I'm gonna give to Dashaina because now she just uploads them for me. It's so nice. Oh, it's so useful. She also did like I gave her the design for a mug that a few people have bought. And I can just give her the design. I don't have to spend hours like finding the mug and putting it on there on the internet and stuff. Oh, she's been taking care of that, which is great. But anyway, fruit trees. So I just made a video about that, but I'll just tell you what the video basically is right now. Dashaina, what was it like? I don't know. Last Friday.
Not like the other day, like the week before Friday.
Well, anyway, I don't know. A couple weeks ago, she started talking to people online, asking who wants to do a plant swap, basically. So, you know, got a few people together, and people would list what plants they had and what plants they wanted, and then arrange whatever. And last week sometime you went to town and met with a bunch of people and everyone did a plant swap, and she came back with all these fruit trees that we didn't previously have, which was so exciting. And some of them are here, and I got to take some to my island. So on my island I now have a cherry tree. Not like a cherry tree like North American, you know, cold weather cherry tree. It's a tropical cherry tree or a Suriname cherry tree. What are those other names for it?
Like miniature pumpkins.
Yeah. So the cherries look like little pumpkins. Like if I looked it up as tropical cherry tree, and I got pictures of it. But I believe the stop doing that.
Sorry,
So yes, it's also called a star cherry tree. So I looked it up online as a tropical cherry tree, and I saw the pictures of the cherries. So if you want to look it up, that's what it is. They're supposed to be really good. I'm very excited about them. So I planted one of those on my island. I kind of wish I had two because, you know, you never know if one's going to make it. But I planted it 2 days ago, something like that. And it still got all its leaves and it actually grew a couple more. So I think it's good. And I got another avocado tree, which is different avocado than the ones I've already planted. And oh, a cherry moya, which is otherwise known as custard apple, which sounds delicious. So I don't know how amazing that's going to be, but I've been told these things are amazing. I have a friend from Canada who said, wow, you live in a tropical place? You have to plant the cherry moya. And that was like the only thing she said. So these things must be pretty darn good. So I have a cherry moya tree and a few citrus things, a coffee. You gave me a coffee tree, didn't you? Yeah, I have a coffee tree. I don't drink coffee, but if I grow a coffee tree, I mean, I'm gonna have to try it at least. And a few other trees, the jackfruit. I don't know what jackfruit is either. I'm debating whether I look it up online to see what a jackfruit is, or maybe I just wait and see what comes of this thing. And then some pigeon peas, which are just little pigeon peas. Those weren't a tree, but a few other fruit trees, I don't know what they were. I have to ask, but I just planted them and I'll find out. So that is what I was doing this week. Someone just said Lethal Weapon 2, and I do not know what the rest of that conversation was.
Somebody had asked what the best part of your week was. I'm guessing that was it.
Oh, what's the best part of my week? Someone always asks that question. Is that the same person every week asking what the best part of my week is?
Yeah, it was.
But like last week, it was what was the second best part of my week?
Oh yeah. Well, it's because you'd already said what was the best.
All right.
thing.
What was the best part of my week? Well, yeah, I just talked about getting those fruit trees. That was
Obviously, the best part of your week was that it was my birthday.
the best part of my week. Was it was Dashaina's birthday, and
she left.
she's amazing. Oh yeah, she left. That's right. That's why it was the
And I
best.
had 3 days without Dashaina.
That's right. Dashaina left this last week for 3 days when it was her birthday and visited friends and did all kinds of stuff. And then just me and the kids hung out at my place. Just, I don't know. We had fun. Just, I don't even know what we did. We played Lego. We played tag. We played chicken bok bok. Don't even ask. I don't know how to explain what chicken bok bok is. But we played it. And yeah, we had lots of fun. But let me think. Okay, the fruit trees was really exciting this week because that's something I've been, like on my island, there's a bunch of things I want to do. I got my house, and it's not finished, but like it's done enough that I'm moved in, and I've still got stuff to do in it. But it's like there enough that I'm like, yes, I've got it. But then in terms of the plants, like I want the whole island to be covered in food plants. So I was starting to feel like I was maybe falling behind a little bit on what I was hoping for. I had some avocados planted, and I thought, well, that was really great, and a few other little things, some water apple trees and stuff like that. But then really, really excellent for me. I was very excited about that. So maybe that's the most exciting thing that happened this week. I did also go to town, and the weather wasn't very good, so I basically pedaled the whole way there and back, and that was pretty exhausting. And that was 2 days ago, and yesterday I was kind of knocked out. I mean, I still planted a bunch of the trees and stuff, but I was feeling pretty sluggish. But usually after I feel sluggish for a day from exercising a lot, the day after I wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't feel sluggish anymore, and I'm kind of hyped up. So that's where I am today. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, it's like, I don't know how many people out here do endurance sports, but when you do endurance sports, like you run a marathon, you get this period after where you're kind of wiped out, but then when you bounce back from that, it's like, oh yeah. So you want to come sit? Come sit. You knocked out that baby. So right over there, there's a baby who's drunk on milk and totally knocked out.
Do you want to scoot over a little bit?
This way?
Yeah.
Hey, I would so eat those rabbits. Okay, so popcorn power. Oh yeah, my popcorn plants are getting little popcorn cobs on them, so hopefully those get big. Okay, so he says he would so eat those rabbits.
Yeah.
Well,
the boa constrictor ate some of them.
Oh yeah, there was a snake that ate 3 of them, a boa constrictor, and bit you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we dealt with that situation. What was I answering? What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So if the apocalypse happens, and basically the apocalypse means there's no more food at the grocery store. Like you can talk about zombies and plagues and all this stuff, but basically the point when you're at the apocalypse is when there's no food at the grocery store. Like that's the real thing. Even with zombies, if there's food at the grocery store, people are just like, well, everything's fine. It's just there's zombies around. Anyway, when there's no food at the grocery store, like real apocalypse, well, that's when we started.
They already took out one of our chickens because they had the boat issue, so they couldn't get anywhere.
Wait, what?
Our neighbor, she had to eat one of her
Oh.
chickens because of that, basically.
Oh, she was like, she ran out of food and
Well, yeah,
couldn't.
because the motor wasn't like they'd taken it to the mechanics, right? And they had to
Right,
wait.
so their boat was out of commission
Yeah,
and they ran out
and
of
they
food.
ran out of food.
So they ate one of
yeah,
the
they ate
chickens.
one of the chickens.
Yeah, that's
Super
great.
useful.
Yeah, I'm sure if they were really desperate,
Yeah,
they could have
would
got
called,
somewhere.
and they would have called me, and
Yeah.
we would have.
But that's what they're there for, man.
Yeah.
When
it's
you're
just
when
pretty
you
funny.
when you get to the point where you need something, yeah. So what?
So, okay. Anyway,
Oh,
did you?
any new robot projects bouncing around in the back of my mind? Well, yeah. I mean, I was just talking about the giant robot project that I want to do a giant robot project number 2. And before I do that, I'm going to have to build some scale model, small versions of things. But yeah, I don't want to start doing that till I've got enough things done that I can totally focus on it, because I want to focus on that and really enjoy it and do a super amazing job
Well, then
and stuff.
don't keep pushing that because I have it right here.
All right, you look at the things.
Yeah, I am
What's
looking at the thing.
all right? I'll turn off my comments and you can. Someone says that's a nice quilt in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Much respect. You must have done a really good job on it.
No, it was a gift.
You didn't brush your teeth. You still have this
Hmm.
green thing. Do I have a thing on my teeth?
Okay,
No.
I think we're good now.
Look, my teeth look so yellow in this light. Yours do a little too.
Really?
It's probably just compared to
I think it's
the
compared to
bleached white.
Bleached white quilt.
No, I just have yellow
Jaimie,
teeth. Yeah.
I
Okay.
need to know, have you seen any UFOs here?
Unidentified flying objects. Well, I can't identify most of the birds. They're just like, I called something a hawk the other day. I don't know if it was a hawk. So
And so tell us a little bit
if
more.
you're talking about space aliens, no, nothing. I do,
Nothing.
however, have a neighbor who's been
I
visited
was
by
gonna say, what
space
about
aliens many times, and he will tell you all about it. He also kind of
smokes a little bit.
smokes a
of
little
ganja.
bit, a lot.
But we love him.
Oh, I love him. He's awesome.
awesome.
He's totally
like
amazing
the
guy.
best person ever.
Yeah, he's super easy to get along with.
Chill. All right. So last week you were talking a little bit about the baby birds that you had found in your yard. Is there any update to those?
Oh yeah, that's what I called a hawk in my fruit video.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I'll just spill the beans. You're not even gonna have to watch the video now.
No, you still have to watch the video because it's all.
So I got the cherry tree, the tropical cherry, star cherry, Suriname cherry, whatever you want to call it.
The pumpkin cherry.
Oh God. When I got the cherry tree and I went up to the hill behind my house with my shovel and,
Right.
and Bellatrix came with some water and
Did
she
you have
helped me.
boots on?
No. So I was looking for where to put it and I was like, oh, I might not want to put it over here because there was a bird nest here with a baby bird and some hawk
Was this
thing.
the one with the little pink eggs in it?
Yeah, it had like a month or two ago, whenever I first saw it, it was little pink eggs.
Right.
And then I saw the little puffball bird and it looked at me and I was like just looking funny like little baby birds. Anyway, so in the video, I was gonna put the cherry tree like kind of near where the nest was and I was like, oh wait, I don't know if I can do that because the bird might still be there.
Yeah. Was it still there?
So I walked over and I was like, well, let me just check that it's not there anymore. And then the bird suddenly popped out from like under this like little like grass cave. And whenever I get too close to the nest, the bird jumps out, kind of flies a little bit and flaps on the ground like it's hurt. And I think it's trying to fake me out,
it's
like
trying to lure you away.
like come this way, come eat me. And then it's totally not hurt.
Right.
Because it just like it moves very easily, but then it like sticks one wing out and it's like ah. But anyway, so I left that spot and I put the cherry tree somewhere else.
It was trying to say no, not here.
And I did not see the baby bird this time. I think they moved kind of further under some little grass cave. I didn't want to investigate and scare them or
That's
anything.
pretty
so
neat, but they're on the ground
I
like
left them.
that, though.
yeah,
Like cave
I guess.
dwellers.
yeah. I don't know why they're not up in a tree.
Well, maybe they're just too big.
Maybe it's not that big. Maybe
Oh, okay.
not huge.
Sort of
Like a
little-
big pigeon. I think this thing could tear a pigeon to shreds
Yeah.
because it's like got a beak like "Arr!"
What color
and
is
it's
it?
got claws and it's like brown and it's got like on the end of its wings it's got like white stripe kind of things.
When did the big boat that was bought sink?
Oh, the boat that I
The
bought.
$1,000 yacht.
Oh, it's $1,200.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
All right, let me just give the whole story about that boat.
So
when
you have a video series about that too, right? Or a video?
I haven't really gone into it much, but anyway, so I online I found this $1,200 big sailboat. It's like a 41 foot thing. Looked at it, and it was leaking at the time, so it was sinking at the time. But I figured all the metal on the top, like all the accessories, and like there was a solar panel, a couple masts, like tons of stainless steel cables and stainless steel railings, and you know, what are those things, cleats to tie off things. There was a lot of hardware on this boat that was worth way more than $1,200. So I was kind of concerned that it was leaking water and it was kind of relying on a pump to stay floating.
Where was it leaking water?
It's at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
It also leaks water from the top or when it rains.
Right.
Anyway, so I was like, well, even if the thing sinks, as long as I get all this hardware off it, it's still going to be worth it. And I'd rather it sink with me after having removed all the stuff than the whole thing go down somewhere. So anyway, I bought it, brought it back. I kept it afloat for a while, and I kept taking pieces off it. But eventually, I was just like it rained a lot one week, and there wasn't much sun for the solar panel to power the pump. The battery ran dead, and it just got to the point where it was sinking faster than I could save it. And so, kind of like the day that it was going down, I got out my tools and just pulled off everything else I could, and it went down. So, I mean, I was sort of hoping in the back of my head that at some point maybe I could figure out how to save the whole thing.
Right.
But I had kind of resigned myself to the idea that I might not be able to save the hull, because it was in really rough shape. Even the exterior had lots of cracks in it and stuff, and there was fiberglass exposed. Anyway, I got all the hardware off, and that was worth more than I paid for it. So I've used that for a lot of things, like steel cables around my house, the stainless steel cables around my house, the cathedral. Those are all from the boat. And then there's two pieces of one of the masts holding up my third floor, which isn't really a floor yet. It's just kind of like the joists. And then just lots of stuff like that I got off it. That was worth it. But yeah, it sunk, I don't know, a few months ago.
That was a few months ago. I think it was
6 months ago, something like that.
Maybe back in
I don't even know what it is right now. 6 months ago it sank, something like that.
Yeah, it was after it rained for like a week straight.
Yep.
Okay, so Derek would like to know, what is the most, it's all capitalized,
The most.
first world luxury thing you guys do or are planning on doing? Going to an all-inclusive resort for a few days.
Oh, God.
But then it has a question mark at the end of that, so I'm not sure if he's asking that.
No,
or
just the idea
saying
of
he's doing
going to, like, this is kind of an interesting point, though. Like, when you live in a home that you really like, the idea of going on a vacation somewhere else is just like, why would I do that? When you live in a place you don't like, a vacation somewhere else is amazing. But when you build the home you want, like, I don't want to go anywhere else. I definitely don't want to sleep anywhere else. Like, I want to be at my house. Like, I want to wake up at my place and look around and be like, ooh, what can I do today to make my own house even more amazing than it was yesterday? Yeah, the idea of going somewhere else and sleeping somewhere else. But what luxury things do we have that we really like? You're more luxurious than me. Like, you want hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about hot water at all. Like, it's hot enough. Like, well, even when I lived like in Canada, I always had cold showers. I didn't want hot showers probably because I was always running and exercising and stuff, and I was always hot. Like, even in the winter, I'd go out in a t-shirt and just be hot all the time. So yeah, I was always trying to cool off. So here, I've
I
acclimatized
would
to the
say probably
heat.
for you the most luxurious item you have is a water filter.
I do have a water filter,
That
but
was purchased.
I didn't buy it or anything.
No, but I
Yeah,
mean, like I would say that's probably the most luxurious
Yeah.
thing you have.
but I have drinkalized the water straight from the thing before. But yeah, I'm trying to think what luxury. Oh no, I have a projector for movies.
Right.
So I watch.
We have internet.
You have internet. I don't have internet. But yeah, at my house, probably the most like luxury thing is a projector. So I have kind of a nice projector. It was in one of my videos. It only cost like $60 or something like that, which is funny because those things used to cost like $1,000.
I just want to remind you guys that when you're asking questions, if you could make sure to put the word question at the beginning or like 2 or 3 question marks, it just makes it easier when I'm looking through the chat to like filter through the questions.
Yeah, make your question stand out.
Also, if you haven't already and you're enjoying this video, please push the like button. It takes 3 seconds.
Oh God,
No, it helps
are we
grow the
pushing?
channel.
I don't
Yeah.
want to grow my channel.
Yes, you do.
My channel's big enough as it is. You don't think my channel's big enough?
No.
Yeah, girls are like,
It
oh,
can
it's never
always
big
be
enough.
bigger.
You know, it's going to be just a little bigger. Would have been
Okay,
nice.
So next question is something that you don't have to make or grow yourself to eat, just relaxing by the pool with the kids. So like that's what he's expanding on his.
Oh,
Um,
no, I like doing all that stuff.
so
Like the idea, like I don't want to go to a restaurant. Like if I had the choice of eating at home, and I cook on a wood fire right now, and the kids cook with me. Like this morning we made breakfast and I was frying eggs and potatoes and green peppers and stuff, you know, all in a pan together. Well, I'll put the potatoes in first because they take the longest. But anyway, it was like, you know, fry up everything. And Aurora, my oldest daughter, made dough for tortillas. And then I took the dough and wrapped it around the egg stuff and then cooked and made empanadas. And my other daughter was putting sticks in the fire to keep it going. And like it was fun. Like we went to a restaurant, that whole pre-eating situation would have just been sitting at a table and we'd talk, but we can talk while we're doing all that stuff. I love doing all that stuff. And then, you know, every once in a while it's like, hey, someone needs to go get a piece of wood. And then my 9-year-old is like, yeah, I need my machete sharpened. So she's had a machete for like, I don't know, like ever since I moved into my house.
yeah, I think it's probably like November.
She's had like a real machete, like a steel machete. And I didn't sharpen it at first because, you know, I wanted to make sure she could use it without cutting herself. But yeah, recently I've started sharpening it a little bit more. It's not like razor sharp at this point or anything, but like it's sharp enough that if she hit her leg, I mean, she could hurt herself. But she's been doing a really good job being safe with it and everything. So yeah, she's like, I'll go out and cut some wood and bring it back. You know, we do all this stuff, and I love all that stuff. I don't want to go to a restaurant.
Yeah. So have you heard?
Wait,
of
but is there a thing that I would want to do?
I don't know. Is there?
When that question comes up, like, is there like something that I want to do? I don't think about going anywhere else and doing anything at all. Like I just think of things I want to do at my house or around my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like going fishing. That's like a luxurious thing. It's not really a luxurious thing because I need to start doing that more because it's a useful thing. But I don't know. Yeah, it's all like stuff around my house.
Yeah.
Like building a kids fort. I want to build a kids house soon.
Eric Bauerfeld just sent you a cup of coffee.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
I don't even drink coffee. Maybe he was.
It's root beer.
No, it's coffee because I was just talking about the coffee that I planted stuck in the ground. He's warming me up because I'm apparently gonna have some coffee beans.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a coffee tree looks like. It's a tree though, right?
We'll have to look it up. Yeah, it is a tree.
Nah, I don't look it up. I'm just gonna let it grow. If it dies, I'll look it up. But
If it dies, you'll look it up.
yeah, but like I don't even need to look up. Okay, what's a jackfruit? Do you know what it is?
I don't.
Okay, let's not even care.
Let's not even-
I'm gonna find out when it starts making them.
So.
Although I'm not gonna know what they're supposed to look like, so I'm gonna
just
pull
make sure
them.
they have labels.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I really want?
They did have labels.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna know what the fruit is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna know when it's ripe or anything.
No, well, we'll look it up when that happens.
Oh, okay.
That's what I did with the.
Which makes me
soursop.
think of watermelon. I really want to get watermelon going on my island. I'm gonna have to get a watermelon next time I go to town.
Yeah.
and do a good job of planting the seeds. Not what I usually do, which is just kind of
Come
like,
on, dude. Yeah.
spit them out there and hope something happens.
Yeah. So, do you know of Trump?
Tromp?
Yeah, Trump.
No. Like
Okay.
Tromp?
Trompe. That's how they.
Trumpet.
That's how they.
No, what's that?
So it says that it could be refrigeration for you. It's a chamber buried deep for water to flow into, carrying air bubbles. It produces compressed air and condensation exhaust as ice pellets.
What?
Yeah.
Ice pellets?
That's what this person said.
I'm gonna have to look up this Trompe thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing.
Either.
Why do you keep like scooching off the screen more? I already turned it.
I'm not. I think it's just I'm leaning.
Did I stink? I smell bad?
No, I think it's mostly just I'm leaning on my arm. So.
Seems okay to me.
Sit over. It's
Mostly.
No big deal. Okay, let's see.
What was the thing you needed to be bigger? Oh yeah, you need my channel to be bigger. That's what it is. You don't want to sit so close to me because you're like, this guy doesn't.
You don't have enough followers.
Doesn't even have a big enough channel.
I'm just not. I don't even know why I'm here.
Oh.
I mean, I'm actually mostly just gracing your show with my presence
All right,
so that
good.
I can help your viewership get bigger. Anyway, do you have plans to travel outside of Panama at all in the future?
I don't. In
For
fact,
vacation purposes.
No. Is this the same
No,
person?
This is David Peterson would like to.
Yeah, I have literally no plans of leaving the area.
Yeah.
Like, kind of the point of, like, making my place be, like, the best place in the world is I want to be here all the time. And there have only been two places that I felt like this. One was my place in Vermont where I lived before here. Like, I didn't want to go anywhere else except in the winter.
Yeah. Oh God.
But that was
after we'd been there for like a month and it had been snowing.
But that was partly because everything was frozen. I
Yeah.
couldn't. It was just I couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
But yeah, ever since moving here, like I haven't left the area except to do the immigration stuff. We went to Panama City, and I had to go to David 2 times, which is just on the other side of the country, not at the other end of the country, but like on the Pacific side. But yeah, other than that, I haven't left.
So some of your members would like to know if you plan on selling your coffee beans. They'd like to know.
Oh, that would actually be kind of hilarious. I'm sure I couldn't. I mean, not
like
in
4 beans. Here you
not
go.
in,
1 cup of Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't sell them in any kind of like, I'm really going to make a profit off this kind of thing. But like, I do think it might be kind of funny to like, send out like
beans.
like a couple cups, like a handful of beans to a few people here and there.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it would be
new membership feature. We will send out.
I
coffee
can just
beans.
I can just be like, here's a cup of coffee beans and just auction it off. And then to get the coffee beans to someone, I'm gonna have to take it to our shipper guy and ask him when he goes back to the States, can he send it to here? And maybe it's somewhere in the States or maybe somewhere like I'll pay for whatever. Just can you send it for me to this place?
That would be so funny.
It would be
God,
pretty
now.
convoluted way to do it.
Landfill's idea, but
I think it would be. I would do it a few times now and then.
Hey, look, we have 69 viewers. Oh, now it's 70. What? Oh, and 49. That's pretty funny. Okay.
All right, now someone's going to do 20 thumbs up in a row.
What is your dream outcome for your children? Do you expect one of them to rebel and run off to Sodom?
I did not read the Bible. That's in the Bible, right?
Yeah,
okay, but I'm gonna presume like run off to wherever. I don't know. Do you think any of the kids? I mean, we have no signs so far that they want to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the way I think about my kids. I want to make a home here for them where they can always be welcome and always be safe, and they have everything they need to survive. So at any point in time, they know they have a safe place on the planet where they can live and be. And I want it to be set up where they've got food growing, like they could just be here and have everything they need.
Somebody would like to know what's the siren sound in the background. Because he's late.
Oh, there's a fan blowing on the baby to keep her asleep. We want the baby to stay asleep.
Baby sleep, baby.
Anyway, so I just want to make a place where my kids can always be. And if they want to go off and do other things, that's fine. And if they want to stay here and do things here, totally cool too. I think, I mean, this can of course change, but so far the kids have not been interested at all in going to cities or anything like that. In fact, the few times we've taken them to cities, they're just like, dude, it's so loud and dirty, and I just want to go home. Can we just go home where we can relax, you know?
And not wear clothes.
Yeah, not wear clothes, because they just want to like be naked most of the time. But what was the other thing I was saying? Oh, you just distracted me from it.
Sorry.
Nothing important, I guess.
No, we were just talking about hopes for the kids and whether or not you thought they were going to go off into the world.
Yeah, and I'm going to help them build houses and, you know, teach them how to do all kinds of stuff here.
So essentially you want them to have a place to come regardless of what life brings.
I want them to have a safe enough place here where they feel like, you know, not like they're totally being taken care of, but they have a safe place that's stable and secure so they can think about, you know, the things they really want to do in life.
Right.
So they're not just thinking about, I mean, when I was a kid, I was more focused on protecting myself and trying to get myself out of a terrible situation, and everything was like, I just felt like I was closed in all the time, just ready to fight, like constantly. So
Okay,
I want them to have.
address something really quick for you.
Oh God, what
Okay,
is
guys, so we have a baby who is sleeping right now, and unfortunately, in order for her to stay asleep, we have to have a fan on, and the fan makes a siren-ish sound. So I apologize if it's distracting. The best we can do is have the microphone the way we have it, and because it's right on
Do you want
Jaimie,
to put that
so-
screen thing right there?
Well,
It might block it a little bit.
we could cut the live short.
No,
I mean-
no, come on.
No, I don't.
We
I
can
don't-
put that thing right there, between us and the fan.
Okay, so anyway, but that's what it is, guys. It's
Look,
a fan.
we can put that thing right there between us and the fan. And it won't block the whole thing, but maybe it'll help a little.
It's gonna block some of the wind coming in too.
No, put it in front of the fan, not the window. I'm getting a lot of resistance here. You want? No, right here, just right where you are.
Okay. Sorry, I just
Move over.
didn't understand you.
Yeah, right there. There. Hopefully that blocks a little bit of fan noise, but otherwise, you know, that's just the way it is. Sorry. What's your next question? How are you doing today, by the way?
I'm doing good.
Did you get some sleep last night?
Nope.
Oh,
All right. So, okay. So Gerald Sutton says that the noise is not a problem.
the noise is not a problem. That's excellent.
Because, like, yeah, I really.
I'll try to talk extra loud anyway.
You could just make some really obnoxious fart sounds. And
I've been told that I have a really nice voice when I'm not trying to yell,
You
so a
do
camera can hear me.
actually have a nice voice when you're not yelling.
Yeah, I'm always like yelling at a camera. Like
Adds a good like.
even right now, I'm
timbre,
trying to
is
make
that the
sure,
word?
I'm loud enough.
Yeah.
That
but
I'm
you don't
understandable.
Have to, it's literally that. You could
Yeah,
whisper
literally it's
into
right
that and
here.
it would hear you.
Now,
At least
now,
that's what my viewers have told me.
now I'm super self-conscious about like my voice. What am I doing? Oh no! What am I going to do?
Like you can hear things from downstairs
Okay.
with that microphone. So, which is cool because it's super cheap. It's been
Yeah.
beat up a lot. So,
You know, one
Um,
thing that people often say about moving off grid, and this is something that people also talk about when they're thinking about moving off grid, and maybe this goes back to not getting everything perfectly set up, which is never going to happen, is like when you go off grid, somehow you're taking, opportunities away from your children. The thing is, you're also giving them opportunities. So whether you're living in a city or living off grid, you're making decisions for your children either way. So I feel like I'm giving my kids more opportunities here than I'm taking away from them, because it's a lot easier to go to the city than it is to get here.
yeah.
So if they want to do something in a city, I mean, that's you just go to the city.
Apparently, Rolfie just said that the fan sound is a perfect B. He just checked it on his tuning.
Oh, nice.
Because he's very musical. They
Yeah,
have-
yeah, yeah.
His son plays the bass, the stand-up bass.
I want to do more music stuff again.
It's pretty cool. He sent me a video about it.
I kind
Eric
of
Bauer says, have you heard of Jerry Ellsworth?
yes,
Built
I
her
love
own
Jerry Ellsworth.
photolithography, how do you say that word?
I spoke with Jerry Ellsworth many years
Oh.
ago.
Well, she did that
When I
thing,
was,
her own transistor a couple years ago. On top of the other insane DIY things you do, ever think of basic chip fab?
Oh, like making semiconductors.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I should look at her videos. Because one of the things that really irritates
Oh my
me
god,
about
somebody forgot my name. Sorry.
one of the things that really irritates me about building anything with electronics today is just the delicateness of the semiconductors. It's so irritating to build something and just think, yeah, any one of these pieces could burn out like that. And they make them to be crap, you know? Maybe I can make some
That are not
semiconductors myself that will, even if they were huge, like most of the stuff I build doesn't use that many semiconductors or anything.
Okay, so can I ask the stupid question?
Yeah, what's the
Because I'm
stupid
sure there's
question?
people out there thinking this.
Yeah.
What's a semiconductor?
Oh, a semiconductor is like a transistor, any kind of microchip, like computer parts, basically.
What is it supposed to do?
Oh, wow. Anything that's computer. This is full of microchips. That thing is full of microchips. Like, that
It
fan has a bunch of
things?
microchips. A transistor is basically a switch that
Okay.
works electronically.
Cool.
Gets turned off and on. That's the basic.
Do you think I should
thing.
tell Anders what my name is?
Sure. What do you think
He
your
said
name
he
is?
forgot what my name was.
Oh, that's Dashaina.
Hi, Anders.
Dashaina. Now, how did someone remember it before?
Shayna.
There was that song
Oh.
where there was a girl named Shayna,
Uh-huh.
and at one point he goes, "And Dashaina was a man."
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Forgot all about
I'm
that.
sure you love that.
That was awesome.
How do I remember your name? And Shayna was a man.
Yeah, and
Oh.
I'm not, so you know. um,
Now everyone's gonna remember it
Yeah,
for like
awesome.
1,000 years. Sorry.
Okay, let's see what else we got here.
How do you think the kids are doing?
I think they're doing great. Apparently, T Mike says I'm awesome.
You're awesome. T Mike.
T Mike is cool. He leaves you lots of comments that bump your comment, like your algorithm thing. Like he goes, like something algorithm bump is what he says. So I asked him about that one day, and he told me the reason he does that is because it helps your videos.
No
go into
way.
the YouTube algorithm.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
Algorithm bump.
Yeah. So.
Does it help if I say that? If I
Uh,
just sit here and say
I
algorithm?
don't know. No,
bump?
I don't know.
I don't
Really,
think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Can we just be like, hey YouTube, we want like a bazillion something?
Yeah, the thing is, I
I don't
don't.
think it works that way.
I don't. I like quality more than quantity. Like I like the cool fans who are like, I don't even think of them as
Yeah.
fans. It's just people who
Yeah,
are like,
viewers, people that
you know,
follow your
like-minded people. I like dealing with like-minded people. Whenever I have a video that gets too many views, it just brings in all these trolls, and it's like, oh, I don't deal with this garbage.
How do
But
you
yeah, like the-
manage first aid?
How do I manage first aid?
And Derek wants to know, Derek Atterbury, and he wants to know, how do you manage first aid, and do you have access to first responders?
Okay, I'm gonna have to tell you a little story.
Only just little.
It was like a week ago. No, it was when you were gone for your birthday last week. Anyway, sometime last week, we were playing something, and my son, who's 3, Carcanyon, he was running full speed, tripped on something, fell over another thing, did a face plant on the concrete, and then got up and he's like, ah! And he had this nice like red thing on his forehead, right where he smacked it on the concrete. And as soon as Aurora, the 11-year-old, she's 11, 12?
No.
11.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as Aurora heard that, she goes over and she's like, oh, come on. And he's like, ow, ow. And she's like, she drags him over to the sink. She washes it. And she's like, okay, I'm going to put some alcohol on it. He's like, okay. do it. And she's like, and then she like wraps his head with all this stuff, like way more stuff than anyone
Good at
needed
that.
to do. Like it wasn't like pouring blood or anything. It was just like a red, it wasn't even
They like
blood coming out.
bandages.
It was just like, you know, it was a red spot. Maybe, yeah, there was not really any blood. But yeah, for the rest of the day, he was like the hospital patient. And every once in a while, one of his bandages, and it wasn't like white bandages. It was like
It was the
colorful, like
fabric.
like a bright purple and black, like zebra stripe thing, and then like a nice bright orange one. And then one would start falling off and turn into like a pirate eye patch. And he'd be like, "Arr, I'm a pirate. Oh no, but your bandages are coming off. Let's get back to the hospital. I mean,
Yeah, they love hospitals.
yeah." And we started watching Firefly, which is everyone knows Firefly, right? It's a sci-fi show made by Joss Whedon. It only ran for one season. It was a really good show. We started watching that recently. So my 3-year-old is like all the male characters. He's Captain Reynolds, and he's Simon the Doctor.
Say the doctor.
So he got, Kaylee, who was, I think, Bellatrix, except Bellatrix is moving too much. So she got fired from being Kaylee. So
That's the
Aurora
engineer, right?
was,
That's
yeah,
Jewel?
the engineer.
Okay.
So Aurora was Kaylee, and she'd been shot. And Carcannon, my 3-year-old, was operating on her, pulling the bullets out. And he said to her, no, it wasn't even to her. He stopped at one point and said, "There's nothing more I can do for her until she stabilizes." Which is what they said, which is what Dr. Simon said in the show.
Yeah.
And it was just hilarious that he remembered the line exactly.
Somebody would like to know.
And when I get hurt, I just like spit on it and rub it in and say, "Oh, damn it," and I carry on.
Until Dashaina gets hold of you.
Oh God.
Okay, so somebody would like to know, Jaimie, you built a cement mixer with PVC pipes and a blue
yeah.
drum. Why didn't you use it on the cathedral build?
So this, for anyone who doesn't know, I made a cement mixer. It wasn't a powered thing. It was just kind of this cradle that had big roller bearings on it, like big roller bearings made out of PVC. And I could fit a 55-gallon drum in that, like up at an angle like this. So the opening would be up there. So I could throw stuff in and just rotate the whole thing, and it would mix the stuff pretty well. And I did test it a few times. It worked pretty good. And I know why I didn't use it. I started using it to hold styrofoam bits instead.
Mm-hmm.
So to make styrocrete, which is just like lightweight concrete with styrofoam instead of rocks, I made this thing to chew up the styrofoam into little bits that were the rocks. And that fits on top of a 55-gallon drum, which was the main piece of this cement mixer. So I would use that to fill. I guess if I barrel somewhere, but I guess I just didn't want, it didn't matter that much. And I guess the question probably has something to do with me saying my back was tight.
Yeah, it does.
But a lot of that has to do with carrying the stuff. Like most of the work here, like with anything to do with concrete or wood or anything, most of the work is moving it, like getting it to the site. Once it's at the site, it's a lot easier.
Do you think you could come up with a way to make like some kind of weird conveyor belt splooshy
I've been
thing?
thinking
Like,
about.
I feel like we talked about this
No,
at
I've
some
been
point.
I've been thinking about a conveyor belt thing for just moving just all kinds of stuff, like dirt, sand, rocks, just whatever, like unloading the boat, all kinds of stuff like that.
Like a portable
And,
conveyor belt thing.
Yeah, that I could
that
kind
could,
of
like,
attach to the
expand or something.
So the thing that got me thinking about it most recently was the canal, like that goes into my island that I drive my boats up. It kind of fills with sediment over time. So now when the tide is low, if it's low enough, I'm like pushing through mud. When the tide is, most of the time I'm not, it's fine. But when the tide gets low, I'm pushing through mud, and it's kind of hard to get the boat through. So I'll get in there with buckets and I'll shove a bucket down to the bottom with air trapped in it and then tip it, and the air rushes out and it sucks up mud, and then I have to get out to dump it on the land. I can't just dump into the water. But then I was thinking, if I just made a conveyor belt thing, that I could just dump it into that, I wouldn't have to keep getting in and out of the water, which doesn't sound like it'd be that big of a pain, but it's not like it's a nice edge or anything. It's like kind of climbing up a muddy bank,
Somebody just commented that and they said for moving things across, it's John Schlick says, moving things across weird terrain, look up dragline that loggers uses too and still do sometimes.
Well, if it's what I'm thinking, of, it wouldn't be useful for like moving a bunch of mud, for example, or moving a bunch of rocks and sand. I mean, that would be good for like moving a log, because if it's a drag line, that's what I'm thinking of. You attach to the log and you can drag the log.
Well, I mean, Josh Gilbert says you just need an anti-gravity device to.
Well, once I get to the point where I got a bunch of other stuff done, I can start working on that. But cheese. Could you just
get on that?
I
mean, that should be the priority, really.
Who's working on that right now? Someone's got to be working on that.
Probably,
like we kind of, I don't know. I don't even know if he's doing anything with that.
He's got an engineer working on that.
Somewhere, someone's got to have some R&D guys where they're just like, hey, try to do something impossible. Just, you don't need to get any results. Just kind of go crazy and see if anything comes out. It's kind of like go whack a bunch of hornets' nests and see if anything good comes out of it.
Yeah, I did that.
Don't
a good idea.
Don't do that literally.
Yeah, no. Apparently, John Schlick was threw his back out about 5 days ago. He was reaching for a 1 pound pot of PVC glue.
That is the worst, when you're just like in the wrong position and your back is tired or whatever, and you tweak it, and it's just like, oh, I feel like such a baby. Oh, yeah. I've done that before.
The weirdest thing happened to me like yesterday, I think it was. I went to, guys can't relate to this probably unless you have long hair, but I went to flip my head upside down to like pull my hair up, like into a hair knot. And when I put my head down, I guess I had some like, I don't know, liquid in my nose somehow, and it felt like I had just sniffed water up my nose that was like burning down the side of my face for like 20 minutes.
Well, I don't think you have to have long hair to ever go upside down, but
but I mean, it was just.
I've never had that situation. Movement. I feel like there's an eyelash in my eye right now.
It's never happened to me before, but it was the weirdest thing. I still can't figure out what it was.
You probably just had a massive amount of boogers in there.
And no, there was nothing. It was just like liquid. I thought
what do you think boogers are made out of?
Oh yeah. But I thought my nose was bleeding. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
I actually was expecting to have some. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
Somebody just said they recently did that with lithium sulfur barriers. They will seem like lithium ion batteries were made in the 1980s.
Wait. Say that again?
It says, you can read that.
Wait. They recently did that with lithium sulfur barriers. They will seem like lithium ion batteries were made in the 1980s. Does that mean there is some better version of lithium batteries that I need to know about now?
Maybe. I don't know, but let's find out.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because,
batteries. It was supposed to be batteries, was not barriers. Batteries.
Oh, batteries, not barriers.
Yeah.
Thanks to Google. Fix up. What's it called?
Oh, autocorrect.
Autocorrect.
I love autocorrect.
Auto censor. Auto censor everything you're going to say.
Yeah. All right. So what else is going on, Mansell?
Well, I can hear this sort of ambulance siren sound. What is that?
Siren sound? There's a siren?
For anyone who missed it, that's the fan blowing on the baby, keeping her asleep. She's so adorable.
She is so cute.
But yeah, we want her to stay awake,
sleeping.
Yeah, you mean like before I met you?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah. Okay, somebody would like to know what voltage are your panels and battery banks. I use 12 volts and have been buying fans, lanterns, and other stuff that run on 12 volts. That's
24.
Mr. Landfill.
I'm 24 volts on pretty much everything.
Also, Mr. Landfill, his top 10 show ever is Firefly.
Oh yeah, Firefly is a really good show. So, very well made.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to see where they went with that if it didn't get, canceled right away by those pigs. But that always happens with any show that promotes sort of like independent thinking and not working like anything where the big company is the bad guy and the government's the bad guy and the independent people are the good guys, they always get canceled because they don't want to promote that sort of terrible idea.
Somebody.
Wait, what was the question you just asked? Right before we got on the Firefly thing.
Oh God, we totally got sidetracked.
Yeah, you sidetracked me with that. And
What
then
happens? What is? Oh, you answered it though. It was the voltage of your panels.
Oh yeah, everything.
And
I'm
batteries.
doing 24 volt everything, and I do have a bunch of DC 24 volt stuff.
And somebody here just mentioned about making. I'm saying this because I think you could talk about what you did. You
Yeah.
were talking about making a water cannon and just blasting the mud out of the canal, but you did something like that, sort of.
I did make a thing that sucks the mud up
And it
and
was
like
like-
squirts it out. The problem with that is it sucks a lot of water too, and then it ends up kind of like running all over the place, and then it rains and it just kind of washes back in. Like it's not terrible, it's not useless, but it's not as good as getting in there with like a bucket
And just getting mostly dirt.
and well, yeah, like with the technique of pushing the bucket down to the bottom full of air and then just flipping it like right against the mud. And the way you do it is like you keep taking out slices. So you end up with like a mud wall that you just put the bucket right up against, and like it just fills the bucket with solid mud, and then you can dump it out and it's like solid ground and it stays there and it doesn't get washed back in. So that's really good. And it's not the most fun because you have to get in the water. The advantage of using the mud sucker was I can do it out of the water, but the bucket has been the best technique for getting the job done so far.
Yeah. Somebody just said another baby. I think he needs to clarify that it's a toddler.
Oh yeah, the baby is
We just call her the baby.
one. She's the baby until there is
like,
another one.
Until like July, she'll be 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's almost 2.
Yeah.
But like,
She's still a baby.
yeah. They're just babies. The youngest one is the baby.
Somebody says
She's gonna be 30 years old. I'm
and
gonna
she'll
call her
still
the
be called
baby. Stinky
Acknowledge
baby.
was the baby when she was like 4.
Yeah.
Makes you look a lot younger. I would agree with that.
Younger
You can
than
see-
what?
You can see all your smooth skin. Makes
Wait
you
a
look
minute.
Like a baby.
Do I look less distinguished now? Oh no.
No, I think you look more rugged.
More rugged.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're gonna. What are the 3 things you like to do? Kicking ass.
There are 3 things I love in life. Kicking ass, TBD. Third thing here.
Have you considered using magnetic coupling to connect the propeller to an enclosed and submerged motor to avoid the need for a shaft seal?
I have thought about that a lot, actually.
Yeah, where are you going with that?
Well, I haven't gone anywhere with it yet. There are some difficulties with it. One thing, I think if I was going to get into it and actually build it, I would want to just make the whole motor be, like I'd want to make the whole motor from scratch and not just have a motor. Okay, well basically I should explain the concept he's talking
Yeah,
about.
that's a good idea because I'm
So
lost.
basically, if you have a motor under the water, here's the water level, you got a motor under the water with a propeller shaft sticking out of the propeller, you have to have this seal around the propeller shaft so water doesn't get into the motor and destroy the motor, right? Now, you could totally enclose, here's my good English. You could totally enclose the motor and just have the wires coming out, but those will be sealed nice and tight. And at the end of the motor, you can have like a plate or something with magnets on it. You could either have paramagnets or a bunch of magnets, whatever. Magnets up against the wall that's of the enclosure, right? So you got this thing and it's got a magnetic thing spinning around. And then on the outside, you could have a thing. You don't want it touching, but you want it to be, off a little bit so it's not scraping on there. But the magnets inside will drive the magnets on the other side, so you don't have to have a seal. There's no, like the magnetic field is what's going through the material. There's no shaft or anything that will let water through, right? And then, the magnets on the other side can turn your propeller or whatever. So the difficulties are you need the magnets to be strong enough that this isn't just going to start spinning while this has too much resistance against the water. I mean, you would just have to figure out how much how many neodymium magnets or whatever you need to thingy and whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's not that hard to figure out. So I have thought about doing that. Kind of the simpler option is to just have the motor out of the water with a shaft down to propeller, which is what I've done. And that's been the thing that I've liked the most out of all the different things I've tried. Because when you have the propeller and then the thing with the magnets, you have to have a good bearing under the water that's not going to let anything wobble or anything. Whereas with like a shaft, you know, it can wobble a little bit at the bottom. You don't have to have as good a bearing because the shaft itself isn't going to twist. You just have to hold it steady at the end from moving up and down or anything like that. So, okay, all that aside, if I was in the magnetic thing I just described, is making a motor from scratch where there's a ring and then a propeller in the middle, and the propeller in the middle has magnets all around it, and then the ring has electromagnets like coils of wire all the way around it. Although you don't even need magnets in the middle part. You just need a piece of iron or something magnetic in the ring, and it's concealed in there. And then this would be a brushless motor. The coils around. I'm not describing this the best right now, but it is something I've been thinking about, you know, kind of in the back of my head for years. And someone's got to be making this. I figure someone has to be making this, like a ring on the outside with the coils of wire, electromagnets in it, and then a piece in the middle that is, you know, self-contained. It just has a bearing that doesn't go through to anything else, and then the propeller is attached to that. And then you can even build that into a quart nozzle. And a quart nozzle is just like a nozzle that goes around your propeller. So I think that could, if someone, you know, made all that and did a good job, it would be a real slick way to move a boat that as long as you had the alternating current coming into it, then it would work really well. And the alternating current, the reason I keep mentioning that is because getting the alternating current is kind of a pain in the butt because you have to use semiconductors, which we talked about earlier, which are delicate and break and Yeah.
Rolfie would like to know.
There's got to be some way to do it without semiconductors, though.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. What?
Rolfie would like to know how the suitcase battery is working.
So I haven't really done anything with the suitcase battery. He's talking about a video I did pretty recently.
Mm-hmm.
Just a suitcase thing I made. It was just a fiberglass case with a bunch of lithium batteries, and it's got a battery, a BMS, bowel.
He actually said that, a suitcase BMS.
Yeah, the bowel movement syndrome machine, battery controllerizer, battery management system, you know, keeping the batteries balanced and everything. So far I've just played around with it. Like I'll connect a 24-volt fan to it every now and then, just to whatever, you know, anytime I want to test something or show the kids something that needs 24 volts, I'll use it for that. But I haven't used it for any like heavy duty things. I haven't taken it out on a boat and connected the motor to it yet. But I mean, it seems to be doing good. It hasn't caught on fire. The little LED readout of the voltage is, you know, seems to be working. And I plug it into my house power whenever it's a really sunny day like today, just to, you know, keep it topped up and charged. But at some point, yeah, I am gonna have to put it on a boat and, you know, do some driving around on it. Or maybe put it on my kid's car. Yeah, the kid's car that I need to finish. Oh, I could totally put it on that.
Yeah.
I just realized, I can't believe I didn't think about that before.
They'll
be able to drive for hours on that thing.
Somebody said you could be a stunt double for Bruce Willis now.
Bruce Willis stunt double, just because I'm bald. Why does he have to retire?
Because he's starting to have, like, he has a mental, like,
can't remember his lines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Order, which, you know.
Lines are not important.
Yeah. So.
He just needs to know how to shoot stuff.
Have you heard of Will Prowse?
No.
Okay, well,
who's Will Prowse?
He's the master of Amazon affiliate links, solar battery god. I don't know. Guess we'll have to look into this person.
I guess we'll have to look.
But how do you reverse the propeller then? I think this is in reference to what you were just talking about.
Oh, okay. In terms of reverse, this is the magnetic motor thing.
Yeah.
Well, for my purposes, I wouldn't be concerned about reversing the propeller at all, or even about starting up the motor and making sure it goes in the right direction, because I would also have pedals on my boat. So I would just start going, and the water flow would turn the propeller the right way. So I'd just turn it on and it would be going the right way. And if I wanted to reverse, I'd just start pedaling backwards and the water flow would make the propeller start turning the right way and then hit the power. Of course, not everyone's doing that. But however they normally do, I haven't thought about this because it's not something that would be relevant to my purposes, because I always get the boat going with pedals before I turn on a motor. But yeah, however they do it with, what are they called? Brushless motors. I mean, there's a million brushless motors out right now. Probably a billion. Yeah, however they do it with those.
We
just
got
do that, I
another
guess.
compliment about this quilt.
Oh yeah,
Apparently, yeah.
it is a nice quilt.
We should auction it off.
Would you get it from your grandma or something?
No, I got it from my biological mother. So could Jaimie explain how he constructed the foundation in his geodesic dome in New Hampshire? I
Vermont.
recall him, I'm just reading right.
Yeah, I know.
Vermont.
I'm just.
Vermont, of course.
It's okay. Just go.
I recall him mentioning that he threw stones into a form and then pulverized them with a sledgehammer.
It wasn't a form. So when I did, oh yeah, I only have pictures of this. I wasn't doing video yet. So first I found the spot where I wanted it to land from. When he came to visit after, he was like, I didn't even know there was a ledge here. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't level at all or anything. So I leveled it out, like mostly just digging down to get down to a level spot and just kind of shoving dirt aside. And then since I was digging down, most of it had like a dirt edge around. So I basically had just a circular hole, like maybe like a foot deep-ish. And after I had that, I started pulling rocks out of the ground from just wherever. I mean, there were lots of rocks there, and throwing them in the hole. I shouldn't say throwing rocks, I could, out of the ground, using a pickaxe to pry them out, and rolling them there, getting them into the hole. And I did that, I think I did that for 2 weeks. I just spent 2 weeks every day putting rocks into this circular hole until it was like a foot deep. And then I spent like another 2 weeks pounding it with a sledgehammer, which sounds so insane right now. But I had a sledgehammer with a steel bar handle, and I actually bent the handle from pounding on the rocks for 2 weeks, because I just wanted to make sure there's a really solid, stable foundation. This is the best foundation I've ever made for anything. But it was the first like house I made for myself that I thought I was going to be in for a long time. I wanted to make sure it was really solid. And after 2 weeks of pounding the rocks, like it was really solid and hard. And then I put like that much concrete on the top. And that was the other reason I made it really solid and pounded it really hard, just with the rocks, because I was carrying any materials up like a mile of road uphill to, up the mountain to get to the house. So I didn't want to have to carry enough concrete up there to do like, a real thing. So I only had like a centimeter of concrete on top of that. Although a couple years after that, I did put more concrete on, but then it was just another centimeter. So it ended up being like 2 centimeters thick. But it was really stable because I pounded it so much. I pounded her so good. She didn't move for years.
Can you grow your islands by adding dirt from other islands or ocean floor?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and they also grow on their own because the mangroves, which are the plants that grow in the water, in the salt water, they protect the shoreline, and they also keep kind of expanding out into the water because the roots grow down and they collect stuff, and all the leaves from the mangroves fall, and somehow they just keep making more and more land, very slowly, but they make land.
Yeah. That I've noticed that my mangroves are taller, like from my kitchen window. Like I can see mangrove leaves that I couldn't see like a few years ago.
Yeah, at the edge of mangroves, they're always taller for whatever reason. I'm sure I could come up with reasons.
Psychologically speaking, are you fight or flight in your disposition?
I'm definitely fight.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you say I'm fight or flight?
Fight, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you?
I don't know.
I
just
don't know.
One Piece.
Why do you say I'm fight?
Because
What's an
like,
example when I was like,
well, like I just feel like, you know, if you see like an injustice happening to like your family, for example, like I think your first instinct is to like defend them.
yeah,
So I don't think you just run away.
yeah.
Unless you analyze the situation and you were like, I think we've got a better chance of leaving, you know. But I don't think
Well,
you
I
would
guess-
intentionally fight somebody. Like I think if provoked. You know.
Oh, I would fight someone for sure. Yeah, I
No,
mean, I
I mean,
wouldn't.
yeah.
I wouldn't if I wouldn't fight someone for no reason. But if I had to defend myself or my family, yeah, I would fight like that. Like it wouldn't be a.
Yeah, I think your natural inclination is fight versus walking away.
Yeah. But I don't want to fight about anything that's pointless or stupid. So, but that's not really a fight or flight thing. That's more just like this is not useful to me at
Yeah.
all. I don't want anything to do with it. And I think that's what happened when I left North America and moved here. Because sometimes people talk about it like I ran away, but I don't think about moving here as running away from, you know, civilization at all. I think it was more like I was running to something. I was trying to get to a good place.
Oksana says hello.
Oh, Oksana. Hello, Oksana.
Yeah.
I love Oksana Bayul. That was a famous figure skater, wasn't it? Many years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
She
I'm
was a-
presuming it's a different
Yeah, I
Oksana.
don't think it's the same one.
Where's Oksana from? Is she from?
I'm not sure. We'd have to ask. Where's
Oh.
Oksana from? So another question is, does any?
The thing again.
Well, I
Does-
just feel like there's all this empty space over here, and I don't want to be like.
No, you're supposed to. You sit closer to me. She's like hates me today or something. There's like
It's
allergic.
Not, I mean, it's not hate really.
This. So okay, now you're touching me.
Oh,
whoa,
God.
whoa.
Whoa, now.
I'm kidding. It's fine.
It's okay. I need at least 6 inches.
Oh God. Well, I can cover that, no problem. Come on. Anyway, so does anyone around here use biodiesel?
I don't know.
No, not that I know of. They're
always complaining about gas prices. Do you think somebody would be on
yeah,
it?
people
I know.
complain about gas prices because they've been going up a lot. Okay, there's a problem with biodiesel, which is like sometimes people talk about it like biodiesel is the solution to everything. You just get the oil from the fryers at the restaurants because it's just going in the garbage anyway. But there's definitely a limited supply of that. So, you know, it's like using biodiesel is a great solution for, you know, using that instead of it going to waste. But it only goes up to a certain point. You know, once the supply is used up, then it's
Right.
people are just fighting over it and it's no good.
Well, especially like the whole pandemic situation, fewer people were eating out. So
Yeah.
fewer,
Oh, can you imagine if you converted your truck to biodiesel
and then COVID.
well, no one's driving around anyway, so it worked out fine. I want to know what the environmental impact of the whole quarantine situation was.
Supposedly, it improved
Like-
pollution in some areas.
Well, I hope it improved it everywhere
Yeah.
because like everyone was locked down, no driving. I was like, this is the best part of the, you know, bounce back a little from this pollution stuff. What are you looking at?
Oh, okay. So last week, guys, the reason the live was not available immediately is because we had a naked
baby.
photo bomb, as they would call it.
Photo
Photo bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was partly my fault because
Yeah.
the naked baby ran in and I picked her up and there was a bum.
Yeah. And so it took YouTube, no joke, 3 days to process the live enough so that I could edit out the part and then process
like
it again.
1 second of
It
baby
was
bum.
like 2 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I
I don't
couldn't
even think it was 2
I
seconds.
couldn't even
'cause,
blur
like,
it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't functioning correctly. But yeah, so that's why. The replays are always available as soon as YouTube is done converting them. And I'd also like to mention while I'm on this, somebody keeps asking me to post the subtitles. It is
Oh.
automatically set up to do that for any of Jaimie's videos and mine. So like as soon as the video goes up, like YouTube starts processing it. But because it's an automatic thing with YouTube, it sometimes can take them days to process a video into
Okay,
automated
basically we don't have
subtitles.
anything to do with that.
Yeah, so please, I get asked pretty much every video, it has nothing to do with me. The subtitle thing is checked off, and it will be available when YouTube is done.
There's a little
processing
bug
it.
that keeps
Yeah,
flying
I
around
know,
my
it keeps
face.
seeing it too.
Yeah, I
Stop
can't get 'em.
coughing.
No, but I'm gonna get them.
Yeah, but it's a
All right.
baby. So that answers that question about why it wasn't available last week.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so apparently some people agree that they see you as Fight. And
Yeah,
I
totally.
described you perfectly. I haven't really known you for that long. I mean, how could I describe you so perfectly?
No, you're lucky I haven't. I did throw you in the ocean one time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. That'll
Apparently
be
somebody
fun.
heard that smog was gone in Japan.
What?
Yeah.
Gone?
Yeah.
I don't think smog is a
during there's fog.
Yeah, it's right in front of my face. I don't think smog is like a
Did I get it?
here or gone thing. I think it's like the amount changes, but it's not like zero smog and 100% smog.
Yeah. Apparently we're cracking people up.
Oh,
By
good.
ridiculousness. So
Oh, good.
let's
I'm glad
see.
someone's enjoying this.
I know, seriously. 'Cause, okay, I don't have any other questions. Oh, somebody would like to know, where does the smog go?
Well, the mangroves eat it,
Yeah.
and then people's goats eat that, like the mangrove leaves, and then they fart it out, and then we just get it back. But as long as it's stored in the goat before it gets farted, then it's like sequestered in the goat
Sequestered.
intestines. So
Yeah. And it's like fermenting.
yeah, the smog is
Do you
basically
cook with
just, well, a lot of the smog is stuff the plants will suck up at some point, right?
that? Right. Oh, apparently somebody
What
just paid 55 SEKs, which I think is like $3 or something, to hear about the Dashaina getting thrown into the ocean story. Could we not do that, please?
Oh, I can't. Well, I can tell you that I threw her off the dock
Yeah.
because Dashaina was yelling at me,
Right.
and
So-
then I yelled at her.
YouTube can show horrible war videos, but can't show a baby's butt.
I know, isn't that insane? Oh, I remember
Okay,
the
but
first
I just want
time.
to say the reason we edited it out wasn't necessarily because of YouTube. It was more for
No,
her own.
it's YouTube.
Well,
Oh, come on! I wouldn't
really
care
want
about
her
a baby
butt on
bum.
the video. Like what? When she's
Would
like
you
15.
care seriously if your bum when you
I
were
would,
like?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
But like, I remember there's some guy not too far from here posted a video of his like barely walking toddler at the beach running into the water. Yay! And yeah, he was
about
like
it?
he had to take it down, or they
Yeah.
turned it off or whatever. They kicked it out, and I'm just like, seriously, we can't handle
What's
a
into the
naked
breastfeeding?
baby.
Well,
It wasn't even from the front. Like, we can't handle a naked baby bum.
well, it might
I
instigate.
think our society,
Yeah,
but that's where we are.
yeah,
It sucks.
it's true. Any
It's
plans
ridiculous.
for
There should, you know what? We should start a campaign, posting naked baby bums everywhere. Oh, if I still lived in the city,
Yeah.
and I would get out right now. I would start doing it. Like, while we were
Get
talking,
arrested.
I would start carving naked baby bum stencils, and I would start spray painting them all over. Maybe I can start doing that in town. Except now I said it.
Yeah, so they would know who it was. It wouldn't be just like the masked
But if,
vigilante.
yeah, people need to start just putting naked baby bums everywhere and saying, we can handle this.
So any plans for a water slide?
Yeah, totally. Well, not specific plans, but yeah, I want to build a water slide.
You know, there is a water slide on a house. I saw it.
Oh,
And, like, I've seen it before on the
It's-
way to
it's a-
Bogus Town.
the big blue slide.
Yeah.
I've gone down it.
Really?
Yes,
oh,
I
yeah,
have.
you mentioned that because you were out there for some
Yeah, it's
reason
at
years
a
ago.
resort. Yeah, I picked up some windows from the guy
Yeah.
because he was
That's
he got
crazy.
the wrong size
goes
or
right into the
something.
ocean,
I don't
doesn't
know.
it?
He sold the windows real cheap.
Yeah.
That was nice. But yeah, it starts way up on a hill, and it's like a sheet of. It's not a hard
I'm
slide.
being called.
It's a sheet of some kind of plastic, like thick plastic stuff, and it's insanely fast. And the guy, when he put me on this thing, he's like, "Well, okay, you can go on the slide, but you have to go on this, like, not a surfboard, but like a short surfboard thing. What do they call them? Bodyboards or something. And you have to sit on it in this way or you'll get hurt." So I went down it and it was so fast. And apparently people had like skinned their elbows and stuff. Still, it was super fun. especially since it was so fast. You get to the bottom and like skim across the water. That was pretty cool. So I don't want to make a slide like that. That's quite so dangerous and scary. It was fun though. But I do want to make a slide at some point. One thing I don't want to do though is I don't want to make a slide that's visible from outside my island, because then everyone's going to show up and be like, hey, I couldn't help but notice you have this slide. Can we come try it out? And people are just going to show up all the time. Because right now my island is like, it just looks like this, like it, I don't want to say not inviting, but it's kind of like a not inviting place. Like if you know me and you know how to get in, it's like, oh yeah, I know how to get in there and everything's cool. But like someone tried to come by the other day and he drove around the island 3 times, didn't know how to get in, left. And that was totally fine. So, but I don't know. I'll have to figure out how I want to do a slide. I could have a slide go from the top hill all the way down, right, a little bit bigger, so you're not like stirring up all the mud and getting like mucky water. And Dashaina ran off to feed the baby some boobs. Wait, how do I get that deal? Can I just be like, have ladies around and just be like, ah, and then just get boobs in my face? That's off the table after you're like 3 years old or 2 or whatever. All right, now I have to do Dashaina's job.
Well, you can touch it on the screen.
Do you guys know the Bum Bum song by Al Green? Is Al Green?
He's the guy who sings, I wanna run around with you.
Oh, I don't know the Bum Bum song by Al Green. Sounds great though. Remember the sunscreen butt logo? I don't know. What's it? Oh yeah.
Baby, with the
Yeah, that's
little
right.
black
Did they?
dog.
Okay, this
They
is.
pulled that Coppertone.
Yeah, Coppertone used to have
The little blonde girl.
on the bottle of their sunscreen, the little girl with a dog biting her bathing suit with her bum showing. Did they have to get rid of that because we are a bunch of like
Cancel culture.
a bunch of wussies? I can't say the real word, can I? Oh, apparently bodybuilders drink breast milk.
Why not?
I've heard of bodybuilders drinking a lot of things that we're not going to get into right now. But yeah, I haven't heard the bodybuilder breast milk one. Okay, so if I like drink some breast milk, I'm gonna like bulk up. Will that help me bulk up? Get some muscles? Because I can deal with that.
Apparently they sell like breast milk cheese in France.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to France and get breast milk trees. Oh, the Bum Bum song is Tom Green, not Al Green. Yes.
Well, that's pretty funny.
My bum is on the blow, my bum is on the blow, my bum is on the Swedish. And yeah, I know the Bum Bum song. I don't even remember the whole song.
Tom Green. I forgot about him.
Brooke Shields was one of the baby bums on Coppertone ads. I did not know that. She's got quite a nice bum. Is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah.
Brooke Shields, yeah, she has the nice thick eyebrows, and she's kind of tall.
Dashaina's telling me she has nice thick eyebrows and is kind of tall, but she also has a nice bum.
She's real pretty.
I heard you talk about skateboarding. Have you considered building a mini skate park on your island? Okay. Kind of, yeah. So I've got my house here, right? And behind the house, which way can I do this? Okay, I'll do it this way. I got my house here, and then behind my house is a big retaining wall, and then there's like a hill up here. But then around the sides of the retaining wall, on both sides of the house, it slopes down, like around my house to the front. And around my house is a concrete walkway, which is also great for skateboarding. We don't have any skateboards at the moment, but I have scooters, which I have to say are like one of the most used things. Like the amount of use versus the amount of time and energy it took to make it is incredible on these things. Like I just screwed a bunch of casters on the bottoms of some boards, put a little stick on front for a handle, and my kids, like they just use these things all the time and they're amazing. Anyway, they'll scooter around my house because it's maybe a meter or so wide of like sidewalk around my house. Now, I kind of want to take that sidewalk and keep continuing it. Like it goes around my house, like next to the retaining wall, but around, I want it to kind of come off and then go up the side of the hill there, and on this side, up the side of the hill, and meet at the top and have a big loop around the top and come back down and go past my house down to where the boats are, so that one could skateboard or roller skate or rollerblade or bicycle up the hill and down and around. Down the hill, I'm gonna have to make some part that's not so steep, but there's one side where I can make like a really gradual kind of curving around part to come down, where it won't be so steep that it's, people are crashing all the time. It's kind of where I planted all my fruit trees. But yeah, I want to make lots of spots where you can drive wheeled vehicles. And then, of course, I'm gonna have to have some skateboardy stuff, like steps you can jump up and skate along, or grind, as they say. I never use the right words for these things. Some spots where you can ollie across stuff, and I want to have some ropes hanging from things, and so you can be driving along and then grab the rope and swing around a thing. And I'm going to want to run along these paths a lot too, but also I'm going to have to get my hands on a skateboard. And I had a skateboard before we came to Central America, and it's one of the things I just didn't make it here. And I haven't gotten a skateboard since being here. So I'm gonna have to get on that and get one. My last skateboard I got it in New York City when I was out walking around. It was just in the garbage, in someone's garbage. And it was like sticking out enough that I could see the wheels, like the back wheels. And I was like, that looks like a totally intact skateboard. And I stuck my head over the little like 3-foot high fence. And sure enough, oh no, it wasn't even inside. It was on the outside, because I wouldn't have taken it. It was inside. But it was out with, about to be taken by the garbage. And I pulled it out, totally intact skateboard. It was a little bit scuffed up, but I mean, other than that, pretty much brand new. And that's like the only thing I miss about North America, is just the massive amounts of free stuff, because people throw new stuff out all the time. Brooke Shields later became Calvin Klein jeans girl in the 1980s. Huh. Oh, it was Jodie Foster in the Copper Tone too. Man, what are you guys talking about in this? All right, let's see. Adult-sized scooters are great. Yeah, I built my big scooter. I'm gonna have to drive that around my thing too. I've been thinking about having a propulsion thing on my scooter. I don't want to put a motor on it, but I'm thinking of just putting like a kind of a pedal I can stand on and push down, and it'll pull on a chain or something and make the rear wheel go. Because I use my adult-sized scooter, which is kind of huge with giant wheels. All the places I use it around here are pretty flat, because I'll take it to town and use it as my wheelbarrow to pick up stuff, and it's great for that. The only problem is when the back is full of stuff, it's a little bit hard to drive, because I have to lean down to put my foot on the ground to push, and where I stand and where I have to push is a big enough height difference that I have to bend my leg and kind of get down, and then my butt hits all the stuff in the back of my scooter. So I kind of want to make a thing where I can just push a pedal and it'll keep me going, which I think will be great. Oh, yes, Jaimie did shave everything. Okay, I do also want to make a rope swing, yes, into the water. Now, a rope swing I could put up in a way that it would be more concealed and, less inviting than a big slide. Now, when we're using it, obviously you could see it, but then when we're not using it, just pull it back and, tie it to a tree or whatever. And I should get on that. So many things I can do. I want to get my second and third floors done so I can put a trampoline in the third floor. And there's going to be rope swings and stuff up there. And one of the reasons I'm kind of focusing more on getting that done before an outside rope swing is because when it's a sunny day, there's like, we just go out and play. But I want to make sure we have a good place to hang out and do things when it's raining. I want to have a big indoor space for doing stuff. Bioconcrete. What exactly is bioconcrete? Someone's asking about bioconcrete. Would I Is that something I'd consider trying? Yeah, I'd totally consider trying that. I need to know more about it. I remember looking something up about bioconcrete at some point in the past, but I don't even remember what it was. Jungle Gym Island, yes. Oh man, someone's talking about having chicken in the oven. That sounds delicious. Interesting. Well, okay, so someone asked about the pedal thing I was talking about with my scooter, asking if it's like a thing where you push on something and it would turn the rear wheel several times. I don't even know if it needs to be several times. Like if I push down on something, the wheels are pretty big. It's not like little wheels. It's like big scooter wheels, like big fat ones. I mean, they're like this wide. They're ATV wheels. And if I could push down on something, even get the thing to rotate once or even half a rotation and just, yeah, that would get it going pretty good. Bioconcrete is concrete that fixes itself? Okay, I'm gonna have to look up bioconcrete some more. I've not met Graham. Someone's asking me if I've met Graham something on an island near Bocas. No, I don't know who that is. Huh. I want to know about this bioconcrete that fixes itself. I can look that up after, but if anyone has any quick information they can barf out here. Like, what's it made out of? What do you make this bioconcrete out of that fixes itself? That sounds great. Okay, and I want to go back to an earlier question for a moment. As some people have mentioned, I've shaved my head and my face. I don't have a good shaver thing. Who has recommendations of a good thing that's like good for shaving your face and your head? Doesn't even necessarily need to be the close shave thing, because no one's snuggling up to me lately anyway. Like even just like the sheep shears would be great. Adding lime to concrete. Well, just adding lime, is that? Oh, okay. Someone asked about styrocrete floating dock. Yeah, I want to do one of those soon. Yeah, that's one I definitely want to do. I have plans for making a styrocrete floating dock, which is just like a big block of styrocrete which floats. And I'm thinking the way I would do it is I wouldn't make it rectangular. I'd make it either like kind of oval shape or roundish, or maybe kind of squared, but like rounded, so that once I've got the styrocrete block, I can take rope and wrap it around real tight, just to you know, hold the whole thing together. And then, or maybe not even necessarily rope, maybe like some kind of plastic mesh that has decent tensile strength, just to give it a lot of holding together power. Strength, whatever. Okay, this fly is still in my face. Anyway, then once I've got it wrapped with this stuff that's going to hold it together really well, then just spackle around the whole thing and put some plastic mesh or something on the top and put that under tension and spackle that over and spackle the bottom. Yeah, get the whole thing sealed up really good that way, so that you know you can jump around on it. You're not making holes and no fish are coming up under and pulling the styrofoam out and making a mess. Like, I want it to be totally sealed like that. And I think that will work really, really well, as long as it's made in a way that it's not going to break apart. So that's why I would want to wrap it with something really tight. And I was thinking also, if I'm doing that, I should embed some PVC pipes into it to make attachment points. So, you know, I could put rope through, or, you know, some kind of sticks or whatever to attach it to wherever it's going to go. So it can be tied to another one, maybe put some tires in the way so they can bump against each other a little. And, you know, it can be attached to the shore or wherever it's going. But I definitely want to make some styrocrete docks. Cheap and easy to fix raised shavers. Let's see. You know, I have a wall trimmer, like WAHL, and it hasn't worked well from the day I got it. I don't know I don't know what the problem is. And I've adjusted it, and I've used ones before, so I know how to use it, and I know how to, do the adjustments and oil it and everything. But I don't know, the one I got has just never worked very well.
You gonna go play with Aurora? Yeah, you wanna go down and play?
Oh, Moser Primat 1230 have not changed for 40 years or so. It is a hair trimmer that will work for the rest of your life, but it is not with a battery. I don't need a battery. I can plug it in. Moser Primat. Hey, Dashaina, we need to remember that one.
Tell them to email it to me.
Oh, I don't want to tell me he has to email it to me when I could just write it down. Is there a pencil? Where's a pencil? If I was at my house, I would know where to get a pencil, but I don't know where a pencil is here. Okay, bioconcrete. I've never heard it called that, but calcite is a mineral that when there's a crack, crystals grow into the crack and it goes back to being waterproof. Calcite, all right. Bioconcrete can be defined as the concrete prepared by addition of bacteria with the capacity of precipitation of calcium carbonate, which aids in sealing the cracks that forms in it, which, okay. Self-healing. Yeah, so this calcite stuff, if someone has some good information about this self-healing concrete, totally feel free to email me something about that. That would be great information. And my email address is theadventurebuildermovie@gmail.com. It should be in the subject or in the comment, not the comments, what's this? In the thing down here. And if it's not on this video yet, it'll be like in my videos in general. And that email actually gets checked. Calcite. Okay, someone's telling me it's pronounced calcite. Oh, hey little baby. There's the baby who busted up the last thing. Oh, she's running away, going downstairs to hang out with her brother and sisters. So no baby bums this week.
Aurora, can you help the baby?
But someone made
I need to use the potty.
Someone made a recommendation of a shaver thing.
Oh, okay.
Moser Primat.
Great.
I'll have to look that up later. Maybe they'll email it to me so I won't forget. Look, you're off on the side again. Like you don't like me again.
No, it's because when I sit down,
just have a fan blowing this way so my stinkiness goes that way, and then you'll be okay.
Oh, I have nose filters.
Nose filters? Oh, good. I gotta fix my secrets.
Yeah, so I don't have to wear a mask. I just have filters.
Okay, here's a question for you. If you go to town and there's a place that you go in where you need to wear a mask, can you just like elastic your hair in front of your face?
Yeah, watch. You just do like this. It's like this.
And then you can just go around and be like, I have a mask. Yeah, I would totally buy that.
Done.
I guess I can't do that anymore.
I mean, why else would I keep it this long?
Yeah, are you gonna cut your hair?
I did. I trimmed it 2 days ago.
That's gotta be so hot right now.
I trimmed like a half an inch off it.
Good work. I trimmed like half an inch off mine too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you did it yesterday.
I did, and it was more like 3 inches.
Was that long? Cool.
2 inches. So what did I miss?
I don't know. Nothing. What are you typing?
I'm typing the email address.
Oh, you're putting the email address in the subject of the video right now.
No, I'm actually just putting it in the comments.
Oh, okay. Are there any comments I need to answer?
I'm gonna look, but I have to type this first. I'm sorry. Okay. There. adventurebuildermovie@gmail. Okay, there, I put it in the comments. If you have anything that you want to share with us,
yeah, if anyone has good shaver recommendations, that'd be great.
Or really, if you want to share anything, I respond to almost all the emails.
Naked pictures of your cat.
You know, how Jaimie can breastfeed.
I mean, people are sharing naked pictures of the cats all the time, and I'm always like, oh my gosh, how did I get away with that? Have you seen that Sesame Street thing of Sam the Eagle? I think it's Sam the Eagle, where he's talking about the humans.
Oh.
Oh, the humans are just walking around completely naked under their clothing. They don't have feathers or fur, and it's disgusting.
Oh, somebody was asking, they were saying, I know it was like 10 years ago, but do you remember the tube shed you built in Vermont?
Yeah, it's probably the banana building,
Oh, the banana. I'm
like
tube
a
shed.
half tube.
Oh, that. Right.
I remember it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's it.
that's all it says.
I do. I'm not senile yet. I even remember building it.
Yeah, so yeah, insulated with the styro coolers you got from a local store.
Oh, it was amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then
Fish boxes.
the
I
fish
remember
boxes,
collecting
yeah.
fish boxes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Styrofoam fish boxes. There was one store where the guy in the deli was like, "Oh, thank God someone is taking these styrofoam boxes because they are just a mountain of garbage."
Except that one manager.
No, and he
didn't
would
want you to take them, the lady.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There was one guy,
Yeah.
out of all the places I went, there was one guy
Yeah.
who would walk. I had to bully them into giving me
it's
these
crazy.
stinky boxes. I had to wash them out. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, here, I'm trying to do a good thing. It's the same thing when I started collecting styrofoam for the Styrocrete here. And I'm going around town asking all these businesses. And I actually, I started making a video the day I was going around. I don't know if I ended up posting it or I might have erased it because it was like kind of depressing. Like going around asking businesses
that's right.
that I knew had all this styrofoam garbage. And I would go in there, and my Spanish isn't great, but it's not bad. And I would say, I'm doing this recycling project. I'm trying to, do something with all this garbage styrofoam because it ends up in the ocean. I've come up with a use for it. I can use a lot. Can I have your styrofoam? And man, people would look at me like I was insane. They'd be like, "Oh no, we're not dealing with that. Oh, you get out of here, get out of here." Or they'd be like, "Oh, you want my styrofoam? No, it's mine. You can't have it." And then they would just throw it in the garbage. Oh, it was so ridiculous.
They want to know, what store did you get your fish boxes from?
Shaw's
and Price Chopper.
Shaw's and Price Chopper mostly in
New Hampshire.
The best one was what's that place? Lebanon?
Yeah.
Lebanon, New Hampshire. Yeah, West Lebanon, New Hampshire.
The one over by Home Depot?
No.
The
Well,
one on the other side.
it was the Shaw's closest to Lowe's.
Okay.
Oh, but the problem is, okay, if you're looking, there were roads like this. Lowe's was here, and then there was a Shaw's there and there. It was the dirty Shaw's.
It was the older
So there
Shaw's.
are two Shaw's grocery stores that were like, I don't know, really close, like across the street from each other, like major streets, like across the corners. And one was the clean one, the other one was the dirty one. And the dirty one was the one that had the cool dude who was like, "Yeah, man, I'll save the fish boxes for you. I'll wash them out." I also got them from the other Shaw's that was at Exit 4 on I-89 in Vermont.
Well, apparently this viewer is local to that area and could see use for some if that store was still open.
Dude, super useful for a lot of things. But yeah, go to the grocery stores. They may not give them to you peacefully, but if you keep asking, oh, it's so frustrating trying to do good things in the world and just like everyone resists. Oh God. Yeah, and like, oh, people in the video are gonna relate to this, or people watching. A lot of you guys, like, you go to the junkyard and it's just full of garbage and you're like, "Can I have some?" And they're like, "No, insurance. No, you can't even buy it. You can't have it because no." And it's like, well, come on. Like that's right up there with not being able to show a baby's bum. Like, our society is just, it's terrible.
The person asking about the fish boxes wanted to say thank you for answering their question, and
No
they
problem.
wished that they had met you before you left.
Oh.
And they know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah. Does he know the dirty Shaw's is still the dirty one?
I don't know.
It was just like dustier.
Yeah,
it wasn't
it
like.
was older, because then they
Yeah.
built the new one across the street, like, I don't know, more
Yeah.
recently. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was just older. So somebody wanted to say, Cartmill1 just wanted to say it's super cool that we can ask you guys questions, and thanks for making time for us. Also, have you thought about making a small, super sleek solar speedboat for ultra fast trips to town?
Okay, first, thank you for being here. I'm actually enjoying these lives so much more than dealing with like trying to answer comments in videos. This works so much better. I think this is so much better. Because I only have to answer a question once per week.
For a week.
But then, you know, people can respond right away. It's so much better than trying to type comments. That anyway. Okay, I do have the zombie chopper, my little white boat. That's my fast boat for going to town. Now, it's not as fast as going like somewhere in like a 40 horsepower gas powered boat. However, my my fast boat will get to town in like 2 hours, maybe less. I did just upgrade it. I just fixed up some solar panel stuff and made it so I can aim the solar panels at the sun. It has no batteries, so I'm totally dependent on the
Are
sun.
you planning on putting batteries in it?
Well, I have the battery suitcase, and I could put that in my my front seat, but only if I'm not planning on getting a bunch of cargo. Although with the solar panels being able to aim at the sun, even if I'm getting a reasonably sunny day, it can be cloudy and it'll still work. It goes pretty fast. You haven't been in it since I upgraded it, but
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Oh, we'll have to go out on a trip.
Yeah.
What'd you bring today?
I think
know
I
you brought
could.
the
I think I
snails
can
today.
get to town in under 2 hours now, but I'm not totally sure. I'll have to
Yeah.
check.
Today you could.
Oh, today is super sunny.
it's
Yeah, I'd be
beautiful out
flying.
there. Look at those clouds.
So yeah, and
I kind of feel like I want to show them the outside for a second.
all right. Just be careful. I'm attached to it right now with my wire here. Oh, you can just turn the thing. Oh yeah, that is really nice out there.
It's a nice view, isn't it?
That is a pretty good view. You got a good view out of your house.
Man, I wish it would show the cloud definition a little bit better on this video, but that's fine.
Yeah,
Because those clouds look way cooler. In
they
real
do look
life.
way cooler in real life. Anyway, turn back to us because we're way prettier than that. Yeah, check out these mountains. But I do want to. I'm going to start taking my white boat, my fast one, the zombie chopper, to town more often. I took it once a few weeks ago when I didn't have a lot of cargo. My last trip that I went a couple days ago, I was getting cement. So I took my green boat, the solar snailer, which takes a lot more cargo. Like I can put 1,000 pounds on that one and it's fine. But I could not put 1,000 pounds in my fast boat. That was too much. I put like 600 pounds in it and it was, I did it, but it's not a great thing. Actually, it was probably more like 800 pounds. It was wavy. So the boat was low enough that waves were kind of coming into the boat and I had to keep bailing out. So I don't like to put that much weight in it. But if I'm just going to get groceries and, little things like that, I like to take the little white boat because it's fast.
It's that little bug.
Where's
Oh, it's right by your
There's a
No, it's not a mosquito. It's like a gnat.
Get it.
I don't know. Oh, it's like he keeps going to the black area of your shirt.
Hey, look, we've already cleared 2 hours.
Oh, Jesus. I gotta wrap this up.
Jesus? Is Jesus
Somebody
here?
apparently recently trimmed their hair with a trimmer to a 1/2 inch,
Yeah.
and then the plastic thing slipped off in mid-stroke. So a nice bald strip up the back. It's not a bug, it's a feature.
That's great. Yeah, then you got to start carving in your name and stuff like that.
Waves.
No, just your name. Jaimie.
I'm
Hi,
gonna strip.
I'm
I'm just
Jaimie.
gonna shave a strip right here, so I can just cover it or have it uncovered. It'd be cool.
Just carve, hi, I'm stupid.
So somebody wanted
Or just
to know,
carve, my trimmer broke.
do you like the solar panels that you have? Who makes them? Are they a good quality?
The ones, okay, there are 3 that I have that are good. We've had some experience with some crappy quality solar panels that just
Some are
broke.
on my roof.
Yeah, there are 2 solar panels on your roof that are just dead weight, but at least they're shading your roof
Yeah,
a
they
little
shade
bit.
the roof a little bit, so that works out.
But the ones that I have that have been good and reliable, the glass solar panels, I have some Sharp ones and some Solar World ones. Solar World, yeah. And those have all been great. I've had no problems. None of them have broken or anything. They're all, I've had them since we got to Panama. We got them pretty soon after we got here. And they've been great. They've been out in the sun the whole time. And on my boats, on my smaller boats, I have some of the plastic flexible solar panels, and those are made by Solbion, and those have been amazing. Now, the plastic ones, they don't last as long as the glass ones. I think they told me if it's in like, if they're just out in the sun all the time, it's like 7 years before they start, the plastic starts kind of degrading. So I keep them in the shade most of the time. Like I'll either keep them closed up or I'll keep the boats parked under trees. So they should last a really long time. But so far they've been really good.
Somebody wants to know, and I think the answer to this is yes, but are any of the locals interested in copying your building techniques?
Well,
They did
more,
with the
yeah.
dock.
Oh yeah, some people
Remember?
have copied my dirt docks, the wharfs. Yeah,
We
a few
started, like, a
people around
trend
here.
there.
Yeah, and a few people have asked about my boats and about building them, but mostly people ask if I'll sell them.
Yeah, and
And
they'll
if I'm making them and I'm selling them, and I'm just like,
no.
it's not worth the health hazard of using. I don't want to start like making fiberglass stuff all the time to sell it and just, getting sick and dying of cancer when I'm already a lot, when I'm like 60 or whatever.
Apparently, UGO is near one of the few scrapyards in the country that still lets you walk around among the stuff. It's great. They buy stuff there all the time. They sell it by the pound based on metal. Aluminum is $1.
Oh, $1? Well, no wonder they'll let you walk around. That's ridiculous.
Joseph Blowmeister is here, and he would like to know if Tomaters is still with us. Yeah, I haven't heard from Tomaters in a few minutes.
Yeah, he was at the
So,
beginning.
Yeah.
So he got his adventure builder mug.
Yeah, he did.
That's great.
Yeah, he was stoked about it. He told me about it in a comment
Oh,
in
nice.
my coffee chat this morning.
And I'm supposed to make another adventure builder mug or something with this
Oh yeah, I have
this
to look
design
up what the person responded about
with
that.
the-
Somebody wanted that design on something.
with the triangle lines in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so would it be feasible? Oh wait, I missed a question. Hold on, I just realized it.
Yeah,
Please do post it again with question in front of it. I promise I'm not avoiding questions. I just might miss some of them.
Or just put like a couple big question marks right at the beginning,
just something
so it
that
stands out.
indicates it. But
Hey, you just cut me off.
post it.
All right, what
a
is
couple
the
times
question?
Until I answer. Well, not a minute. Anyway, what is your favorite local dish, and do you guys eat out regularly?
Okay, I've got this dish that I got. It was at Toto's, which is a store in town. It's a dog bowl. It's a ceramic.
I mean food.
It's a ceramic dish. It was meant to be a dog bowl. But, I was looking at the dishes and I was like, what are these flimsy, crappy, like $8 plates? What the? And then I got to this ceramic dog bowls and I was like, oh, it's like $2. And like, I feel like I could drop this on the floor and it would just bounce. So I have I need to get more of these. I have 2 of the really nice ceramic dog bowls. And I want to get more of those dishes.
I think they meant food.
Food. Well,
empanadas.
I've been
Definitely the empanadas.
I made empanadas this morning.
But the empanadas from that lady.
You're talking about
That lady's
empanadas.
cart.
Oh, actually, no. There is a new thing.
Oh, there's a new thing.
Yeah, there's a new thing. So, okay,
Besides sushi?
presuming you're talking about food we don't make ourselves that we buy, which doesn't happen much. When I go to town, sometimes even when I go all the way to town and back, I don't even buy any food there. I'll just bring food with me. But usually I'll get something because it's a long, tiring trip of pedaling. So I want to get some food. And I've been sort of the best thing I've been getting is empanadas from this lady who's by the grocery store.
And she's right on the left side if you're looking at the store, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally got some from her when I was
Yeah.
there. I wasn't sure if that was her or not.
But, they're a little bit greasy. Not there's a lot of flour. It's not the greatest thing, but it's still pretty good. But at 3R Mall,
Okay.
Richard's place, the one on the water, right at the checkout, they have a little clear thing full of little Chinese food treats.
Oh.
Yes, they're like there's this like dumpling
Whoa.
bun thing that I had them when I was in Hong Kong, and they were like one of my favorite things when I was there. They were delicious, and they had these other little wrapped up meaty tasty things.
So good.
So I got
Dim sum.
yeah, it was dim sum stuff.
Yeah.
So I noticed that just when I was leaving, so I just got 2 things on the way out,
man.
and it was like a 50-cent thing and an 80-cent thing. So I spent like
That
$1
would
there.
be so good to know about.
And now next time I go, I'm
You should just
totally
bring back dinner.
I'm gonna get like Oh, maybe I should.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Oh
You know,
man,
they
they
have a
were great.
sushi place now, apparently.
And the bun thing was steamed. It wasn't.
Yeah, the
It wasn't
steam
fried.
buns.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like all greasy or
Yeah.
anything. Because like when I'm driving home and I'm doing all this pedaling, even when I get the sun, I still want to pedal and go, and I'm using a lot of energy. So I want to eat a lot. So it's nice to have something that's not greasy, because
You feel like you want to sleep.
if I eat like 8 empanadas in a row and they're all deep fried,
You know, it's because oil is terrible for your body, regardless of what kind of oil it is.
Yeah, I've actually
Yeah.
at my house, I've been on the same gallon of oil for like months. I don't know how many months. It wasn't even, it was like half a gallon maybe. But yeah, I've hardly been using any oil for cooking.
So somebody would like to know if you would consider building a modular boat design and imagine a power plant that could be swapped.
Like just in terms of like just a motor and like power plant, like are we talking like the whole energy system, or like I can take my motor off and put it on a different boat? Maybe.
Would it be feasible to make something like a floating trailer to pull with the zombie chopper?
Well, it's kind of, towing something with a boat is a lot worse than it sounds like it's going to be, because the thing you're towing ends up turning your boat because it's pulling on the back, so it's kind of hard to maneuver with something you're towing. And I actually experienced this recently when I pulled the shark slicer, which is my biggest boat, from here over to my island, which is not very far, and I was using a smaller boat that was a pedal boat, and I had a motor. And I ended up, at first I was towing it, but it was just a bigger boat. It wouldn't let me steer. It was just steering me wherever it wanted to go. And even with the slightest breeze, it just pulled me around. So then I got beside it, and that was a little better, except it had barnacles on the bottom, so it was dragging so much on one side. Even with the motor cranked all the way to the other side, I could barely turn to the left. So I ended up getting behind it and pushing it, which works the best. But it's, the problem with that is you're hitting the fiberglass up against the fiberglass. It was a short enough distance, and the weather was calm that I just did it. But I wouldn't want to do that for a long distance. Now, in terms of, I'm sure there's a way to make a tow boat situation that would work better without being a huge pain in the butt. You can use the tow ropes to steer your boat if you pull on. I don't know. It's just a lot easier to deal with not towing something.
Yeah, sounds like it. Okay, somebody wants to know if you've heard of Tropics surfboards in Bocas, and that apparently they produce tons of graded styrofoam waste daily.
Is it styrofoam? They're actually.
I don't think they use styrofoam inside of.
Well, you can use styrofoam if you're using epoxy.
Oh. Okay.
Like polyester resin will melt the styrofoam, but epoxy won't melt it.
Maybe we should look into that.
What are they called?
Tropics surfboards.
Tropics surfboards. Next time I'm there, I'll see if I can find them.
And then the Everlanders said, would it work to have a solar trailer for the boat for the times you want speed? Solar panel efficiency is much higher when they're cooler.
Was that 2 different questions?
No, it was all one.
Hold on, let me see.
Okay.
Where is it?
Oh, it's right here. Would it work to have a solar trailer for the boat for the times you want speed? Period.
Oh, sorry. like just dragging some solar panels.
Yeah.
Oh, that is 2.
It's 2 questions.
The second part is a comment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, solar panels are more efficient when they're cooler. The problem is you kind of need them out in the sun. Those damn solar panels won't work in the shade where it's nice and cool. What a sort of problem. So whenever I build a solar panel thing on a boat, I try to have nothing under the solar panel, so at least wind can go by on the top and the bottom and keep them as cool as they can be. But yeah, in terms of dragging a solar panel trailer, again, it just comes back to dragging something with a boat. When you get in any kind of rough weather, it can be a real disaster, like towing something. It really makes maneuverability go. I started that sentence with no
Yeah,
way to finish it.
direction. Yeah. Can you do a review of things you've built to see how durable things turned out or didn't work, etc.? Like example, stainless steel wheelbarrows, shovels, clothes. What would you do different?
I should do a video. I was actually thinking about that because
Like revisiting old projects?
yeah, well, it's like I keep mentioning this stainless steel wheelbarrow. Like that's like the first thing I mention every time I talk about, products that last a long time. Because that stainless steel wheelbarrow is incredible.
Mhm.
I took it to town with me the other day, and like every time I go, to Richard's hardware store, he's always like, "Yeah, love that wheelbarrow." And they'll come by and push on the front wheel, which is like an 800-pound capacity, like a ride-on lawnmower wheel. And yeah, everyone loves that wheelbarrow. And yeah, it's been amazing. Like I make sure that I always load it, or if someone is putting a bag of cement, I'm always like, don't drop it in there because I don't want to bend it. Because as long as I take care of it, it's gonna last, like forever. But yeah, the wheelbarrow's been amazing, and I should go through a whole bunch of things that have been really good.
Somebody would like to know, has a question about the concrete water tank. What is the water quality like after all these months of usage? Was any cleaning required?
I haven't cleaned mine yet, and it's been there I built it before my house.
Yeah.
So
Back in
it's
June,
been like
July.
a year and a half.
Yeah.
And the water's coming out clear. I drink from it once in a while. I do filter most of it because I have a filter in my kitchen. I pour it in. There's a video about that. But yeah, I still drink from it every now and then to just kind of check, and still tastes good.
Somebody else wants to know if there's a hospital nearby near our island, and do you have any agreement with neighbors to help you get to a hospital faster in case of a bad trauma injury?
We don't really have agreements, but I think there's kind of like unwritten agreements. Like we could get a ride to town, like to a hospital, if we really needed one. I mean, we might have to pay for it, but
Yeah.
For the nearest hospitals
It's
is like, yeah. So like 16 miles away, 17 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
16 or 17.
It's past.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we even drove the
maybe
green boat there.
Maybe it's 18 miles. Yeah, we've driven there. It took like 3 hours to get there, 3 or 4 hours.
It wasn't like an emergency or anything.
Yeah.
Somebody said they were commenting again about the modular boat, and somebody was under the understanding that was your original idea, was to make a modular type, or a boat that fit into another boat or something.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Probably talked about that at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm not sure about that either. Somebody wants to know, Joseph Blowmeister wants to know if Dashaina is planning on making a video of my 3-day birthday adventure.
Your 3-day birthday. Oh, birthday adventure. I was like, the birth adventure. That was like years ago. And that was like 6 days or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you make a video of your birthday?
Not yet, no.
Do you have video of your birthday?
Oh, yeah, lots of footage.
So are you going to put that together?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, apparently Dashaina's going to make a video of her birthday.
Yeah, Joseph, I missed you in my morning coffee chat this morning. I answered that question.
Oh, your morning coffee chat.
Okay, so somebody else asked something. I'm trying to be clear. The solar trailer would just be pool noodles on the edge of flexible panels that would supply power.
Oh, wow.
Much draft.
I would be real nervous about that. That would get swallowed up by waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be
pool noodles, they would
water
get shredded, man. Solar panels either, and like getting into the connections and all, like I would definitely want the solar panels up high enough that they're not in danger of getting waves over them.
Yeah, so this person also followed up with the information about Tropic surfboards and said that Courtney Parks is the founder, and they were just featured on a Sailing Parlay revival, and they
I probably don't want anything to do with this then.
Well,
that sounds a little too fancy and cool for me.
They use epoxy on their boards.
Yeah, most people do.
So maybe it would be styrofoam.
Yeah, it could be styrofoam. I'll go check them out.
Okay.
It does sound very fancy though.
Yeah.
They've just been featured.
Gerald Sutton says that my old house has a cistern where we caught rainwater and filtered it for use in the house. I would check it once a year and clean it if needed, just to keep down growth.
Yeah. I wonder how often do you actually clean it? So if you checked it once a year, did you check it and clean it every year?
Ask Gerald Sutton.
Well, I'm saying it right now.
Yeah.
You think you can hear me?
Yeah, he can probably hear you. So
Yeah, I haven't cleaned mine. Although one thing with mine is the water for my water tank comes off the roof, and my house is kind of the tallest thing right there. So there's not much up there. Like a few leaves blow on it now and then. But there's not much that would get up there. And the leaves wouldn't fit down the tube. They kind of fall off. So I'm
he said
thinking that,
usually every other year.
oh, okay. So I'm thinking the tank should be pretty clear. And I've looked in it a few times, and there's no, like, it's not filling up with algae or anything like that.
Apparently my coffee chat is too early for Joseph.
Oh, what time is your coffee chat?
It's at 8, and apparently 7 a.m. is too early for him.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
was
have to
up at
rethink
7.
that.
Dude, I wake up at like 3 in the morning. Oh, actually, last night I woke up at midnight and couldn't go back to sleep. Oh, it's because I went to sleep at 7:30 because the kids and I had movie night a little bit earlier, and we only watched an episode of Firefly, which was like 40
Short,
minutes.
yeah.
And then after it, we just like all fell asleep. And when I fall asleep at like 7:30, I'll wake up at midnight and be like, well, I'm awake now. And I started working on my video game a little bit. I'm making a new video game. It's a 2-player video game.
Rolfie would like to know, how full is the water tank?
Right now, it's probably like half full.
How much water can your water tank hold?
About 600 gallons. It's about the same size as yours.
Okay. Yeah.
I think mine might be slightly smaller, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you think might get into your water tank?
Ants. But
Bird poop?
ants got flooded out a little while ago.
Yeah, you know what I've noticed is the dome water tank. Every now and then I'll go out there and there's all those little sugar ants
Yeah.
like running out of the tank because it's gotten full, you know,
Yeah.
all of a sudden. And
Well, mine was when it rained really hard a few weeks ago. There were ants kind of around the lid, like living under the edge, and every once in a while I'd smush them, but they'd just stay there. But then when it rained really hard, like water was just pouring out of there, and I guess they haven't been back since.
apparently for Matt's awesome stuff, noon is a good starting time for him because he
Oh,
just
well, we
got here.
do.
So
Well, that's good. Wait,
Yeah.
what was the other thing about the water tank? Right.
yeah.
What was the question? My
How
brain
full-
doesn't
how
hold.
full- Well, I want to wrap this up in the next 7 minutes
Yeah.
besides because it's lunchtime. But
Oh yeah.
so he just wants to know how full is the water tank and how much
Oh,
does it
yeah,
actually
right.
hold. So you've pretty much answered that.
Yeah.
And
I do want to have a backup water tank on my island
yeah,
because right now I only have one water tank.
we have
And
an
it-
option for a second one.
Wait, what?
You have the option for a second one in the house right now.
Well, I have the option for $1 million.
No, I just
but
mean you have one sitting in the house that are you gonna use that as your
Anyway, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, when I just have one water tank, if I run out of water, then I'm, out of water. I like to have a backup tank just in case. I've never run out of water. I don't know what I'm going to make my second water tank out of. If it's going to be a plastic one or a concrete one. I prefer the concrete ones because it's not plastic.
Somebody, apparently Matt just shared some interesting information about bees, that they only live like 2 to 3 weeks, and that the bees that you see collecting pollen are the oldest and most experienced, and it's the last day or two of their lives.
Whoa, no way. So if I smush them, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
smush them anyway.
No, generally not.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, and apparently Rolfie says that it's okay to share water with ants because they don't drink much.
I like to share soapy water with ants.
Yeah, me too, because it kills them.
Yeah, it kills them.
Yeah, so anyway, all right, well, I don't know, what do you got for
I don't think anyone can take any more of this.
No, I
it's
don't. I
been
can barely take.
we're coming up on
this.
2.5 hours.
I'm ready to eat.
And you're like touching me here?
I know, and you're
God.
sweating, and the air stopped circulating. in the house.
Yeah, what happened to the wind?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm
All right.
sweat dripping.
All right,
down
one
my
more question,
shirt.
and then let's take off.
Okay, so let's see what we've
Go
got.
ahead. What are we having for lunch anyway? That's the
Beans
question.
and rice.
Beans and rice? I've got.
Yeah, like black beans and rice is what I have. I don't know what you're having.
I have empanadas at my house.
Oh, that's
the kids did
nice.
not eat them all.
You didn't bring any over here, did you?
I did not.
Mm.
I think I police cookied you on that one.
Yeah, it's okay. The chili was actually really good last night.
Oh, good.
It didn't need salt or anything.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't salt something?
No.
Wow. Dashaina likes more salt on her food than me.
Well, I'm breastfeeding.
Oh, well, yeah. That's fine.
I have to eat all the time and like salt everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like liquid is just coming out of my body constantly.
Yeah, me too. I'm peeing right now, actually.
Yeah, it's like.
Sorry about your floor.
Okay, so let's go.
All right, let's go have lunch.
Bye, guys.
I think we're having rice and beans. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Can I push
Yeah,
the button?
push the button.
All right, I'm pushing the button.
That button right there.
I'm pushing the button. That's it. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing the button.
Now you have to push that
Oh,
button.
now I pushed that. I pushed another. What the? How many
Yeah,
buttons?
They gotta make sure.
Are you sure you want to stop streaming?